is a live presentation of CBC Sports.
On the 20th anniversary of curling's storied Scot, women from across the land have assembled to choose a champion with remembrance for a fallen colleague.
As a lasting tribute to Sandra Schmerler.
They've pursued a prestigious title with perspective. They're down to 2, and today there will be just 1. Kelly Law's Team Canada is the defending champion. The BC Sisterhood, in only their sophomore season, seek a second straight Scot. Wearing the maple leaf, they've been a moving target, but wearing their hearts on their sleeves, they've risen to the challenge. Nova Scotia's Colleen Jones is making a record 14th appearance as a skip in the Scot. She is the game's most enduring image. And this week in Sudbury, she summoned all of her experience to bring her rink back from the brink of elimination. Today, she plays the 5th final of her decorated career. Championship Curling on CBC. From Sudbury, Ontario, in the heart of the Canadian Shield's winter landscape, it's the Scot Tournament of Hearts. Today, Kelly Law's Team Canada from British Columbia meets the Colleen Jones rink of Nova Scotia. And there's the venue for today's Scot final, the Sudbury Arena, home of the OHL Wolves. And I'll tell you what, when you come inside, you'll see for yourself. It's standing room only. They are packed to the rafters for today's final. Good afternoon, I'm Mark Lee, and welcome to our Scot coverage today. Wow, this one features the most recent Scot champions from 1999, Nova Scotia's Colleen Jones and Team Canada's Kelly Law back to defend the title they won 1 year ago. Now, Team Canada finished first overall during the round robin with an 8-3 record, and Colleen Jones of Nova Scotia second at 7-4. In the first and second page playoff, it was Jones defeating Law to move directly to this final. That meant that the Kelly Law rink from British Columbia had to go to a sudden death semifinal last night against Sherry Maddaw of Ontario, and this was the scene in the 7th end against Maddaw. Canada leading 5-2. Law is lying 3. Maddaw needs to hit and stick on the button here, but watch this. She peels and loses her shooter. A steal of 2 for Law and a 7-2 lead. After 7, Maddaw would score 4 more points but lose this one 7-6. So the Maddaw rink has a second chance. And here they are back in the final for the 2nd year in a row. And should they win here today, they could become, and they will become, the first back-to-back champions of the Scot since the late Sandra Schmerler in 1994.
Wearing the maple leaf, it gets heavy. But we try not to look at it that way. We have to think of ourselves as just another team who's just trying to win another national championship. And if you put too much pressure on yourself, it might affect the game. So we try to keep things in perspective and just go out and do the things that we work on.
And while Colleen Jones has become a fixture at this event with her 14th appearance in the Scot as a skip, she could make history today too, because a win for her will put her in select company as a rare 3-time champion.
To win it 3 times will put you in special company, and company that I frankly don't put myself into. I mean, I don't put myself into Connie Laliberty's league. I don't put myself into Sandra Schmerler's league. Heather Houston's, Vera Pezzer's. I just don't. I don't consider myself in that elite league. I never have, I never will.
Well, whether a modest Colleen Jones wishes to acknowledge it or not, a win today will put her in that company. For their thoughts on the game, let's go up to the booth now and welcome Don Whitman, Joan McCusker, and Mike Harris.
Thanks, Mark. Hi, everybody. Well, this afternoon, one of these women will add a line to the record book. Kelly Law, attempting to become only the 4th skip to put together back-to-back championships. And Colleen Jones, attempting to become only the 4th to win this 3 times. Joan McCusker, you were part of a team that won it 3 times. What do you make of what's going on this afternoon? Kelly Law, Colleen Jones.
Well, the story of this championship has been how no one team has dominated through the round robin. Team Canada emerged on top with a few gifts from other teams. Didn't really play fabulous all week, but is here in the final. Nova Scotia put together 5 big wins to get to this final where they just really couldn't lose. So it should be a great game.
Somewhat reminiscent of last year where Kelly Law got on a roll towards the end and won it all. She also won the World Championship. Will that give her a bit of a psychological edge?
I don't know that it will. Colleen's team has a lot of experience. They were Team Canada for a year, and both teams have tons and tons of experience, and there's not going to be a lot of new activity out there on the street that neither team has seen.
Changing weather conditions outside. What about changing ice conditions inside, John?
Well, I've spoken to the ice makers earlier today. They are anticipating some frost to creep into this game. That'll be different than what it's been like all week. Around the 4th or the 5th end, we'll see some frost creeping in on the sides. And it will be up to the skips to read the changing ice conditions, and that may be a factor.
Mike, we expect that Kelly Law might be a little more aggressive than Colleen. Do you agree?
Yeah, Colleen's tendency has been look for a few hits out there, especially early in the game. I'll be shocked if Colleen throws a center guard up on her first stone of the game. On the other hand, Kelly's going to be, I think she'll test the waters a little bit, throw up a corner guard, and try to force the issue a little bit.
Kelly Law, who won it last year in Prince George, attempting to defend against the 1999 champion, Colleen Jones. Mark?
Don, in addition to our coverage of this 20th anniversary Scott final, here's what's also in store this afternoon on the broadcast. We'll hear from the remaining members of the Schmerler rink coming back to curling without their fallen skip. At the 5th end break, we'll talk to Colleen Jones and Kelly Law, and throughout the course of the afternoon, we'll journey through the cavalcade of Scott champions on this 20th anniversary. We're ready for first rocks. The players have finished their warm-ups. Let's go to the booth. And once again, Don, Joan, and Mike.
Thanks again, Mark. And by virtue of the best record during round robin play, Kelly Law will have last rock advantage on this opening end. The Law rink also had the choice of rocks, and they opted for the red stones. Those are the stones they were throwing when they defeated Nada of Ontario in the semifinal game last night. Colleen Jones, a remarkable curling career, 15 appearances in the Canadian Women's Championship, the first winner of the Scott Tournament of Hearts, and she has an amazing 94 career wins as a skip.
Here we are.
20 more than the retired Connie Laliberte.
Hi, guys.
Well, guys, it's going to feel great to be here. This is our time, you guys. We're just looking at the first end. Have a good start. Yeah. Good curling. Yeah. Who do you choose? Choose us. Let's go.
A bit of a pep talk from the skip, Colleen Jones, prior to her team getting ready to deliver the first stone of this championship game. Kelly Law, quite confident coming into this competition as Team Canada. They got off to a good start, had a bit of a slump midweek, and then rallied towards the end before dropping the 1-2 Page playoff game to Colleen Jones, but they bounced back with a vengeance to defeat Madov, Ontario in the semifinal last night.
Okay. Bathroom. Let's go.
We'll have tons of time for
Me and you.
Me and you. This is the key ingredient in this feature film.
It's great to hear the teams giving themselves some pep talk, Mike. You're out there, you're nervous, you really want to bring your best 20 shots to this final.
And they think they take some comfort in the fact that both teams are going through in the same boat. So I think, said Colleen's indicated a rock into the top 8 foot. That's their comfort zone. They're going to play a little more conservatively here to start the game and not give themselves any tough shots to start off.
You're right, it is.
Nancy Delahunt, the lead for a portion of this year, was holding the broom. And Colleen Jones was throwing skip stones, but Nancy was holding the broom and calling the shots. They reverted back to their current lineup about mid-December.
Yes, but when talking to the teams, Colleen indicated that she wanted a break from skipping, and Nancy stepped right up and took that position for a little while.
The leads are the 2 oldest members of the team. Both are 42.
Right up, right up.
So Kelly's also playing a little conservatively here. Keeping shots simple early in the game.
throw.
Diane Nelson removes the yellow Nova Scotia rock, and very quickly.
Yep.
Nancy Delahunt gets set to go after the red Team Canada rock.
Hearing things. Good, Nance. Okay, good.
This opening end appears as though it might very well be just an exchange of stones as the initial stone was delivered into the rings. Diane Nelson now going after it.
And I don't think that's uncharacteristic for women's finals in the last number of years. We tend to play very cautious, very defensive in the first end until you get the nerves out and a feel for the ice.
Nice shot, guys. Sweeping, guys.
What type of nerves exist in a championship game like this? Does it require that first stone to be delivered by yourself for the nerves to somewhat subside?
That's exactly right, Don. It's very much just get out there and get playing, and we can get in the zone and get rid of all those distractions. All the nerves really do settle down after this first end.
Good girl.
Well, Marianne Way may have been called upon to settle some of the nerves. She is a professional massage therapist, so some of them may have asked for a bit of a rub down, her teammates, that is, prior to this game getting underway.
Control. No, clean. Just clean.
You hear the teams talk about control weight, and that'll be a key factor in this game, is maintaining the same hit weight that they use right throughout the game, not letting adrenaline dictate how hard you throw the stone, because we've seen this ice this week, Mike, run very straight as soon as you up the weight.
And it's very unforgiving on if you move the stone out a little bit or release it poorly, it's going to really affect the path of the stone. So the curlers have to be very careful, very calm as they're in the hack and remain focused.
But Mark Lee made a comment to Marianne Way yesterday. He said, has anyone ever mistaken you for Kathy Jones at this hour? It's 22 minutes.
And she said, yes, all the time.
Georgina Wheatcroft, in addition to the championship she won last year with Kelly Law, also won the Canadian and Worlds in 1987 playing with Pat Saunders.
Georgina brings a ton of experience to this team, and I think she was one of the key ingredients to their success last year. She's been through it all for many, many years out on the cast circuit, and you know, she's a great second.
Okay, and 20. I lied to you. Threw it good.
Kim Kelly, a pharmacist at the QE2 Health Sciences Center in Halifax, with her first stone of this opening end.
Right up. Right up, guys. Hurry quick. Right in. Hurry hard. All the way in. All the way in. Good, Kim. Hard, 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 hard.
Colleen wants no part of that aggressive play, and even a tight guard wasn't satisfactory. She made sure that got one into the rings.
Julie Skinner continues to commute from Victoria to participate with this team out of the Royal City Curling Club in New Westminster.
Clean. Yes, hurry. It's fine. It's good. Nice shot. We got Julie.
And she can be very, very good, or sometimes she can be just a little cool.
Not bad.
She's hoping that her game is
I thought it was a little light.
At its best today.
That has been the story of the week. Team Canada, top of the percentages. Julie Skinner was playing a little inconsistent all week, little up, little down. And I know from playing her over the years, Julie can be very, very good and not miss a thing. Or you can get her on a day where she's struggling a little bit. And I think she'll be really up for today.
Okay. Okay, guys.
Kim Kelly removing the BC stone. 5 rocks remaining on this opening end of this Scott Tournament of Hearts from the Sudbury Community Arena.
Clean.
Well, yeah, it doesn't come back. Mine didn't move either. Okay.
That's an area where they were talking earlier about not much movement, and it seems to be consistent. It's continuing today.
That has been the story all week at this championship as well, is how straight it is outside the 4-foot line. In the 8-foot, hitting a rock in the 8-foot or in the 12-foot. You have to be very careful if you use the outside in kind of shot.
4.5? Yeah.
Particularly on this sheet too, we've noticed that the out-turn draw, as you look at it here on the right side of the sheet, it's going to run a lot straighter than the in-turn side will as well. And last night there was 3 or 4 feet of swing on the in-turn side and maybe only 2.5 with draw weight on the out-turn. So we have to watch for that today as well.
Colleen Jones is certainly no stranger to curling fans across the country, no stranger to those who watch News World, where she appears every morning. And of course she has also worked on CBC curling telecasts in the past and has worked on 4 different Olympic telecasts.
Hard all the way.
Looks good.
You can see this stone's only curled about a foot all the way down the ice. She took edge of the button for this out-turn draw, and it has not moved at all.
I think you've got 2.
But watch the inside in-turn draw will probably move a little more than that as we watch through it again.
It didn't move much, eh?
Yeah, it is.
How important is it to have 4-foot weight on that opening shot for a skip?
Hey, Cal.
Well, it just gives her some confidence, and she doesn't have to guess on the next couple ends. That free draw, as we call it, with no pressure, is important to make early.
It's also good for the sweepers to see it, to go down the ice with no pressure, no stones in play. And as I say, it's kind of a free run, practice run for a later shot.
Normal. Clean only. Yep. 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 Whoa. Hold it a bit, Di. Nice throw. Nice shot.
Kelly Law right on target. Last year, about 3 months before the Scott Tournament of Hearts, she gave birth to Cameron. This year she is spending time at home looking after both Cameron and son Christopher.
And I know all about that. I think Kelly has really made a lot of sacrifices to be with this team and to perform at the level that they perform at.
One stone in the rings, and Colleen wants to make sure she sticks around with her shooter. She wants to try and force Team Canada to take a point on this opening end with last rock, if at all possible.
Yep. Oh, hard. Whoa. Whoa. Clean.
I thought that rock was over further.
Nice
Good.
throw, Colleen.
Nice throw, Skipper. Wrong side. I keep forgetting to go to this side.
Thank you. Good end.
That Kim Kelly talking about the distraction of playing in the championship final. You do need to get away from one side of the sheet, and it's just one of those things that you get used to at this championship.
Do they draw short straws to get that shot?
Always those 2.
Oh.
No.
Colleen talking about the 2 gentlemen working the tracking camera. Neil Cochran is the cameraman.
I think I'd rather be the cameraman than the pusher, though.
Whoa. Little above normal. Clean.
Whoa.
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 Brian Wilson pulling him along as he follows the rock, and Kelly Law is going to remove the yellow stone and roll out. So Kelly Law will retain last rock advantage into end number 2. Scoreless after 1 here in Sudbury.
Yeah. It's good to just throw a couple.
1982, Nova Scotia skip Colleen Jones, then only 22, captured her first of 2 Scott titles. Jones would become a fixture at the Scott, making her 14th appearance as a skip. The Colleen Jones rink of Nova Scotia, 1982 Scott champions.
The Scott Tournament of Hearts on CBC. Brought to you by Scott Paper Limited, a Kruger company, proudly Canadian.
During the first end, you heard Colleen talking about the tracking camera, and these two, Brian Wilson, who's pulling Neil Cochran, have been doing this for a number of years. Colleen, during her time working on our CBC curling telecast, certainly familiar with the job. These two most capable technicians do. Neil, give us a smile. Come on.
They're great guys. When you're out there playing, they're friendly and they're funny.
And they dress so nicely, too.
And they dress sharply. I think so.
Well, they provide us with the great close-up shots from ice level. We're ready for end 2.
I guess we have to wait till the music turns out. Yeah, we have to wait for the music to go. Are they going to keep the music?
The crowd's really enjoying the intermission type of music.
Somebody obviously likes Roxy Rolla and they wanted all of that in.
Well, they have cut the music.
Top 4.
Sticking with the game plan, Mike, Colleen Jones calling for this rock in the house. She really doesn't want to take chances early in this game. I think, as you said, she does prefer a more open style of play.
Careful of it. Whoa, whoa. Top 4.
I think Kelly, hopefully we'll see Kelly throw up a corner guard at some point. But again, she's happy to keep, get a few ends under her belt and get comfortable as well. The shot that's at the top of the button here, I think she'll probably remove that as well.
I think where that rock ends up, the first stone, if it's top 12 foot or if it's behind the tee line, that's when you'll see Team Canada perhaps throw a corner guard.
Yep. Yep. Clean.
Diane played very well in the round robin. Her percentages reflected that.
Shot die.
During round robin play,
She's turned it.
Team Canada defeated Nova Scotia 8-7, and at that point, Colleen Jones had a record of 3-4, and it didn't look as though Jones was going to be around for the playoffs. But then the Nova Scotia rink got on a roll and defeated Team Canada 7-4 in the 1-versus-2 page playoff game.
And now it could have been a devastating loss for Colleen. She gave up 3 in the 10th and then a steal in the extra end, and many teams would have folded at that point. But much to her credit, she fought back, won 3 huge games at the end of the round robin. Got a few breaks along the way, but sometimes you feel like the seas might be parting a little bit, and things are going your way. So I'm sure Colleen's very comfortable, very happy to be where she is right now, and rightly so.
Whoa. Nice shot. Good shot.
Diane Nelson-Stone hangs around in the 12-foot.
Just have to remind myself to do it. I would never thought of it.
And we'll see the play come out to the wing, out to the very side of the sheet of ice, and this is the area which will be first affected by the frost when it does creep in.
Nice one.
That is a nice one to keep the shooter in play, biting the 12-foot.
And roll right to the very edge, forcing Team Canada to look at this stone and use a different turn as well.
Georgina Wheatcroft was best among the seconds during the week of round robin play.
No. No. Off. You got control. Right off. Fading.
Grabbing Frost, big girl. Hey, it's straight there.
That seemed to straighten out about 3 or 4 feet outside the rings, didn't it?
That is, I think, a characteristic of a sheet of ice that does have some frost on it. It is very straight. It straightens up a little bit. The ice makers, I think, with anticipation of a large crowd in here, also turn the ice so that it's colder than normal. And that also causes the conditions to straighten up a little bit as well.
Right to your broom, if a little deeper. Good, Marianne. Good, Marianne.
A full house in the Sudbury Arena watching the action. This is the home of the Sudbury Wolves hockey team. Junior franchise that has had a great deal of success over the years.
Clean. Clean. Just clean. Yep. Clean.
Okay. Nice shot, George.
They've got a great atmosphere in here. This is a very intimate arena. The crowd is quite close to the ice surface, and you don't see that in every arena. But you know, first impression coming in here is that it'd be a great place to curl as a competitor. The crowd's going to be right in the game.
The other factor is that they seem to be very knowledgeable. They're applauding good shots. They're not calling out and making a lot of noise and distraction.
Keep it over there. Throw, Kim.
Well, I used to always walk around. I never ever crossed it.
Kim Kelly played great this week. She really was a stabilizing factor to Nova Scotia as they were struggling to gather some momentum and get some more wins.
Whoa.
Clean.
Yep.
Yep.
Yep. Hurry. Clean. Yep. Nice weight. Okay. Nice weight, Julie.
Well, the early indication is that Julie Skinner is on the top of her game in this championship final.
And she usually is. She's a very, very good player. And I think a lot of fans watched her last year in the Canadian Championship. And she was just incredible on top of her game the entire week.
Just trying. Sit.
Kim Kelly's shooter is going to roll just out of the rings.
It's a break for Team Canada.
Yeah, that's kind of takes a little bit of momentum out of Nova Scotia Shells. They got a little bit of a break there when Georgina missed. Well, big break actually, and then to return the favor so early in the end, it's you know, you kind of feel like you've given something away a little bit, but not game breaking just yet.
Good shot by Julie Skinner as they saved the shooter as far as the line was concerned, and she hung for a bite of the 12-foot.
Yours, right?
I know, it's good. Shot.
Good one.
Colleen Jones has a ritual going down to the hack. If you watch her come down to the hack, she'll step behind the bumper, take a moment. Sometimes she takes a drink of water, she wipes off her slider, then comes back to the hack.
And the piece of equipment she uses is referred to as a stabilizer.
Just regular she had.
A lot of the top curlers have switched to that. They feel they can keep their shoulders a little more square on their delivery. Just, I think it's a personal thing. Doesn't work for everyone, but if it works for you, why not use it?
No, regular-ish. Yep. Whoa. Clean. Whoa. Going backwards? No. Nice shot. Great shot.
That's a great shot. Stuck just a little tiny biter.
Nice throw, Colleen.
Now Kelly doesn't mind having the play over here on the side on her last two shots on a wide open end like this. It just makes the blank a little bit easier on her next shot.
What's that?
Mine ran so straight down there.
Just maybe your body was a little bit.
But it faded.
Julie's curled.
Yeah, of course. Okay.
Kelly just telling Georgina that maybe her body was just a little crooked coming out with her delivery.
And Georgina using the word it faded, meaning that it fell a little bit away from the path that you would expect it to go.
Quick! Clean, clean.
That's good. Roll it in a bit. Nice shot.
Good sweeping. Must have thrown it sideways. Good shot.
And Colleen looking at the same type of shot. As much as Kelly wants to stay to the wing to make the blank a little easier, Colleen would like to roll to the center to make the blank a little harder.
That's right. And you notice she's taking the out turn, and Kelly's team has thrown entirely in turns. And this has been basically Nova Scotia's weakness has been the in turn throughout the week. So Colleen, again, playing to her strengths, throwing the shot that she's most comfortable with. And as you mentioned, you'd like to roll this right into the top of the button.
Colleen's percentages with the in-turn takeout are a little lower than with the out-turn, right?
Yes, they are.
She had edge. She gave you insight.
There was a discrepancy between in-turn and out-turn takeouts. Again, you know, percentages are a way, one of those things we filter for information, but when it comes down to the final, you can, sometimes it's completely different.
Yeah. Just clean. Hurry.
Can't imagine it's going anywhere.
Nice throw. Good girl. I gave that out turn a little flick, if you were wondering why it went straight. Didn't know if you noticed that. Darn thing. No, it doesn't matter. No, I mean, yeah.
It's a nice, honest teammate. She's admitting to her mistakes.
It's great to hear. I think it's a sign of a top-level curler that can admit to what they've done right and wrong.
Yep. Hurry. Yep. Clean. Hurry. Clean. Whoa. That's fine. Good shot.
Kelly Law trying to hit and roll, but she will not roll out of the ring, so she is forced with last rock on end number 2 to take a single point, and she will relinquish last rock advantage on the third to Colleen Jones.
I don't mind that actually at all.
1984, Colleen Jones with last rock in the 10th. She misses, and with a steal of 1, Connie Laliberty wins her first of 3 Scott titles. The Connie Laliberty Rink of Manitoba, 1984 Scott champions. Back for a 7th season, the Ford Hotshots, the skill testing competition, rewarding the sharpest shooter in the land with a 2001 Ford Taurus SE. Here's how they play. Each player delivers 6 basic curling shots from a hit and stick to a hit and roll, each one worth a maximum of 5 points. Team Canada's Kelly Law, last year's winner, was back for more in Sudbury. The BC Skip, here looking to raise it to the 4-foot. And she does it again. The Ford Hotshot for the 2nd year in a row. PEI skip Shelley Bradley 3rd. Team Canada 2nd, Georgina Wheatcroft the runner-up. They fought the Law and the Law won. Kelly Law back in the driver's seat, winning her 2nd Ford Taurus SE in as many years. Welcome back to Sudbury. Championship curling on CBC continues in 2 weeks at the Nokia Brier from Ottawa as we get set for the 3rd end. Saturday, March 10th at 1:30 Eastern. It's the semifinal from the Civic Center. Then on the 11th at 1:30, it's the final, and they are the men who will make it. Guy Hemmings from Quebec has qualified, but there is some concern that he may not be able to take part because he has a job now in France and may not be able to get off work. So the CCA still waiting to hear as to whether Guy Hemmings will come back and compete against the likes of Al Hachter, Kerry Burtnick, Randy Furby, all 3 two-time champions. Don?
Yes, Guy Hemmings has always been a very popular individual whenever he has stepped on a sheet of curling ice, and he would be very popular with the crowd in Ottawa if he is able to participate. He's still attempting to get clearance from his job commitments in France to participate in this year's Brier.
Looks good.
I think the organized committee would miss him dearly. He's done a lot of work for in the Ottawa Valley area promoting the event, and I think they're the happiest when Guy won.
Shot die.
Mike, are you a little surprised that Team Canada didn't throw a tight center guard now that they have lost the last rock advantage?
Well, I think they're playing to Colleen's, again, they're playing to Colleen's strength a little bit, but having said that, I mean, 1-0, and you know Colleen's going to be hitting it out. You can wait for her. You know Colleen's not going to make a move. So, again, get a few more ends under your belt. Hope Colleen knows perhaps is maybe what Kelly's thinking.
You're way a bit there, Kim. No.
Somebody's going to have to make a move here sooner or later, though.
Neither side has been aggressive thus far.
Huh?
This is the area of the ice where Diane Nelson is throwing right now, where we've seen some of the players miss some of these hit takeouts, because sometimes they may curl past the line and sometimes they may fall off from the broom.
No? No.
Yeah, as you can see, that one's running very, very straight. It's a little tricky out there.
Nice weight.
And this is a good opportunity for Colleen to make a move. No rocks in play. Hopefully they'll throw up a corner guard here.
Okay, corner guard. It got quiet all of a sudden.
Halfway. Yeah, corner.
And that's when we say the game is
Seems to be
on.
going fairly slow, doesn't it?
The leads in the seconds for Nova Scotia and for Team Canada were very evenly matched throughout their play all week.
Hard all the way. Tighter, tighter, tighter.
And very quickly, Kelly Law taps the ice in the top of the 12-foot circle.
4.5, George.
She wants Georgina Wheatcroft to draw in behind the corner guard.
And that stone just didn't get far enough off the center line for Nova Scotia, and Kelly thinks she can use it and force play a little bit here.
A very defensive option would be to peel that one. If
We got no weight.
Gotta go then.
Yes, for line. Get a tick if you can. Whoa, it's way over curled.
A tick. How about a smash? This is light.
Okay, George. Sorry, guys.
That was a 5.
Jeez.
Game on.
And this is the intern spot we were talking about, Joan, that in the odd ends going away, the intern curls a lot more than the outturn does, and it's the opposite coming up in the even ends, obviously. But this they should have no problem getting this stone buried.
Line only. Weight's nice. Line only. Close for line. Yep. T anyway. Yep. Whoa. Room. T anyway.
Okay, sorry. Room. It might be just T.
Just sliding behind the tee line.
Hey, George.
Those are one of those shots where you say that was almost a fantastic shot, but because it slid a foot too deep, Team Canada has an opportunity to come right on top of it.
How's the weight? Tons.
Whoa, then. Oh.
It's coming down.
Tons.
Whoa, line.
No line yet.
We're there.
None. No line. It's got to curl. Curl.
Sit. Nice shot.
They anticipated a little more finish on that stone, but it seemed to hang.
I'm thinking 80 would be good.
More because of weight than anything. I think she was 6 or 8 feet lighter. The sweepers could have helped out a little bit, and although they got it fairly well buried and it's in a good spot. There is room for Nova Scotia to come down and move it, though.
Because of the swing in this particular part of the
back
ice.
4. Just back 4. Both the same.
Lots of room.
Both the same.
No. Not coming. No.
Coming.
No line.
It's trying.
Wanting to get right to the face of the shot stone.
Something like that one.
Okay.
Think board weight. I like control for me. You like control? Yeah, just because mine's going to go, right? Okay. Okay, guys. Control. Okay.
This is a jump shot for Team Canada. Chance to get the hit and roll behind the guards. Have shot stone that is in front of the tee line.
No. Up. Clean.
Close. Nice weight.
Whoa.
Clean. Yes.
Whoa.
Close. Close.
Whoa. Right over down.
Yep.
Not as much roll as Julie Skinner had hoped for.
Okay. That's no double.
Have to get the hit and roll. Shot, I think.
Yeah, as Georgina indicated.
We kind of have to make contact with this because if you just do that, they're shot.
Can I Just hit and flop in.
No, you wouldn't be shot though.
Oh, I wouldn't be shot. Okay. I think you have to do more than flop. I think you have to stay right there.
Okay.
Try to catch that. Regular?
Yep. Move firm. Yep. Whoa.
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 Close.
Yep.
Hard.
Hard, guys.
Hurry.
Hard.
Hard all the way. Hard.
Hard, 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 hard.
No roll, Marianne.
No roll.
Good throw, Kim.
Yep. Sorry, girls.
Yeah.
I think they would have liked to stay right there at the top of the fulcrum
This is
zone.
even
That's,
good.
this is a really good opportunity for
Top
Canada to
eight,
put some
top
pressure
12,
on
right?
Nova Scotia.
Okay, guys. Okay.
We can take a look at coming into this area right here would be perfect for Team Canada.
Queen. Lines
For
line.
Line's tight.
Lots of line.
Line, wait's close.
Whoa, then.
Rim, lots of rim.
Oh, we got
tons.
Whoa, then.
Wow. She looked like she threw it so light.
What do we got?
That's the worst for Team Canada to be heavy on this particular rock.
Shoot, she fooled me on that. Threw the right way. You just had to sweep it a bit at the beginning, eh?
Pretty good shot
Just
there
split.
by Julie, but I think there is room for Nova Scotia to get shot stone. Not a lot of room there.
Enough
This
to
is a
come down
huge
and
shot
bump
for
it a
Kim
bit.
Kelly
Okay.
now. They really have to be laying shot rock after the stone are there, and they're going to be in a lot of trouble.
Colleen Jones asking Kim Kelly to perhaps jiggle them around a little bit. What
Where?
happens though, often you roll open and give Team Canada another
Never
chance to hit
touch.
and roll behind.
Oh, close.
Never.
Close. Whoa.
Oh,
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
lots of
12.
line. Tons of line.
Just a little extra weight.
Get over.
You see this rock not curling as much.
Good, Kim.
And now there's a chance, as you said, for Team Canada to lie 3.
Let's draw 4.5.
4-3, I say.
Yep, that's perfect.
It was very important there that they did remain shot stone. Even if Kelly does make the hit and roll buried, more than likely Colleen's going to have the same shot.
Can you throw board?
Yes. Looks good.
Yeah.
Board weight, for those who may not be familiar, what does that mean?
They want to throw just enough weight that the stone would travel to the bumper, and it's a quiet weight that your sweepers can control very easily, and particularly on in a bit of a swingy spot, you can take a little more ice, get by guards by a little more margin.
Clean.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's going.
Whoa.
Hurry! Hard!
It was the sweeping that kept that stone on line.
Really went.
Yeah. It's okay.
Touch board ice.
That's just what I was talking about. They did roll out of the way, and it does give Colleen an out here. If Colleen can get shot rock, she's going to have a good chance to
I knew we had to sweep that.
Save that.
save the end.
Right over.
4.5. No bounce. Got to be corner frozen.
Colleen's looking for a freeze. Come in, touch the side of the button here, and if she does make the shot, she may even have a chance for 2 in this end, Joan.
And this is very similar to the way that the 1 versus 2 game went
Inch less.
when they played on Friday. And that was
that an
more
inch less?
of a game of missed opportunity than it was of great shot making. And that's what we've just seen in this end, a couple missed
4.5, right?
opportunities.
Yep.
Well, Joan, you talked earlier about Colleen's routine. She went back behind the bumper, had a drink of water before settling down in the hack.
Line's great. Line's fine. Hard line. Hurry! Hard line, hard! Hard! Hurry, hard! Hurry, hard! Hurry, hurry, hurry! Straight in.
Threw it well, Colleen.
I thought line might be tight there.
No, and
Threw
she
it
said
well,
an
but I
inch
think
less
she was
of
quite a
it.
bit
No.
light there, Joan.
I think she
I don't think
was
so.
too.
We need to be touching, if we can touch center line right here, right?
Yeah.
That's perfect.
Yeah.
Make it a little more, Kelly, to make sure we're on this side of it.
Right there.
Yep, I like that. It's perfect.
Got a ton of ice, but I guess we're just going to center.
Kelly's looking for coming in to this area here with a
That looks
line.
good, eh?
Very nice. She can come in a little tighter as well.
You know, it's not bad coming in here, like top 12.
Yeah, but just throw it.
And even if she hangs us out on the center line, it's going to make Colleen's draw to the button very, very difficult. I think it's almost more of a line shot than a weight shot here.
Yes. Yeah. We'll take it.
It's critical for the front end to indicate what weight they think it is right out of Kelly's hand.
Line's great.
Wheatcroft and
Weight's
Nelson are
good.
very good judges of
Let it
weight.
bend.
It's got a curl.
Got a bend.
Can you bring it 8 foot?
We can if you want it in.
Just in.
Whoa, 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 whoa,
Line's
Line's
good.
great.
Line's great.
Tight.
Top 8 if you can.
Whoa,
Yep.
whoa.
Top 8.
Top
Top 8.
Whoa.
Top 8. Top 8.
Whoa.
Top 8.
Top eight. Nice shot. Great shot, Kelly.
Great shot.
And Kelly Law puts
Good shot.
pressure on the shoulders of Colleen
shot.
Jones on this third end.
Shot. She can't afford to hit it. Kelly, great
No.
shot.
Yeah, I guess so.
Great shot. That's why I thought that we should bring it in.
Yeah.
Because it's going on the back.
Yeah.
Nice shot.
Colleen Jones is forced to draw against 3.
Does that hole look okay?
Yes, it was in the ballpark.
Doesn't
Might
look
have
very
been a
big
little
to me.
strong, but
This is a huge shot for Colleen.
it was fine.
A good thing for Colleen Jones is she's just tried to throw a draw to the 4 foot. The weight should be close to the same.
And I think line's going to be a bit of an issue here, Joan. The sweepers and Nancy in the house are going to have to communicate very well to make the shot successful.
And as Mike has talked about earlier, this in turn is the curliest spot in the ice.
Line's nice.
It'll be tight for line, eh?
Line's great.
Hard! Hard line! Hurry!
Colleen Jones drawing against 3 with the final stone of this third end.
Hurry! Hurry!
Can they get it there? It may be second
just been
shot.
one,
It
eh?
appears to be second shot.
That's one, I think. Just go. It does.
Yep.
Bit of a break there for Jones as she rolled in for second shot. So it's a steal of 1 for Team Canada.
Yeah.
Through 3 ends of play, the defending champions are in front by 2.
(1986), the 10th end. Ontario third Kathy McEdwards runs Team Canada's Linda Moore out of rocks. The Maryland Dart Rink of Ontario with its first of 2 titles at the 1986 Scott. Welcome back to Sudbury, Ontario. Ladies and gentlemen, the 20th anniversary of the Scott Tournament of Hearts has been dedicated to the memory of the late Sandra Schmirler. And today, a special presentation to the Sandra Schmirler Foundation, a legacy which will live on in her name. The foundation will help children with life-threatening illnesses across the country. And on behalf of Scott Paper, I'd like to call upon John McClellan, Corporate Vice President, Consumer Business, to make a special check presentation to Ann Merklinger, a board member of the Schmirler Foundation. John?
Thank you. And on behalf of Scott Paper Limited, it's my pleasure to present to you this check in the amount of $75,000 for the Sandra Schmirler Foundation.
Wow. And on behalf of the Canadian Curling Association, President Zyvan Saper with the first of what will be annual checks of $10,000. What a wonderful start.
Absolutely, Mark. Thank you very much. It is indeed an honor to accept these contributions on behalf of the Sandra Schmirler Foundation. Sandra was a remarkable curler, mother, wife, and friend to many. The foundation, as we've heard, will assist families with life-threatening illnesses. The foundation is a living legacy to Sandra and will have a profound impact on Canadian families. Thank you very much.
Indeed, Sandra's memory will live on in our hearts and minds, and now in the lives of needy children. Back up to the booth, and once again, Don, Joan, and Mike.
Well, Mark, a very generous donation by the sponsor, Scott Paper, and by the Canadian Curling Association. And all of the former champions, those who have won the Scott Tournament of Hearts, have been in attendance this week as guests of Scott Paper, and you caught a glimpse of Jan Betker, the third on the Sandra Schmirler rink, representing the team. There's Connie Laliberty, a three-time winner of the Scott Tournament of Hearts, now retired. She was a semi-finalist last year in Prince George. Allison Goring, another former champion, also a junior champion.
There's Diane Adams, Marilyn
Bodo, Jan Betker.
Pat Sanders.
And these women have certainly been enjoying themselves this week in Sudbury, and for the curling fans in attendance, rekindling a lot of very pleasant memories.
We can split. We gotta go. What's up here? Go. She's got this line covered again. And frosty.
2-0,
Okay.
Team Canada leading as the opening stone of the fourth end by Diane Nelson slides into the 8-foot ring.
Unbelievable.
Nancy Delahunt having a perfect game thus far.
Not much to choose from between these two leads. As we said earlier, the game has been pretty wide open so far.
And see Colleen even down 2 points here. She's still not comfortable throwing up the corner guard, and you know, so it's going to get to a stage in the game where you're going to need to make an offensive move. And but Colleen's again playing, keeping in her comfort zone.
The other option, instead of hitting that stone, Colleen could have thrown a corner guard on the other side of the ice.
Well, Kelly Law was saying last night she really didn't expect that Colleen would be very aggressive in today's championship game.
59 version.
Teams talk about how they're going to play other teams and the characteristic type of game plan that that team usually plays.
I think we're through.
And Colleen's response to the question of how they would attack this game was, we'll play it the way we normally do.
Yeah.
Just through. Thank you.
That's a miscue by Diane Nelson. That puts the onus back on Colleen Jones to dictate the play of this end.
Halfway.
That is light.
Hard all the way. Halfway. Halfway. Yeah, it's halfway.
Go, Nance.
Good one. Good, Nance.
Kelly wasting no time to play the come around again. The guard is very tight to the center line. I think Colleen, if she wants to stay out of those messes that she saw last end, she might want to throw those corner guards a little further over.
Lots of room.
I got a good split.
Whoa for line.
Yep.
Gotta go
Whoa
for
for
weight.
line. No line. Let it go.
No line, let it go.
Let it move.
Over there.
Let it finish. Yep. Hurry. Get a corner.
Good shot.
We talked earlier about how much influence Georgina has on this game.
Forward weight.
You can see how she's struggling early here and how Marianne Way has been winning that matchup so far. But these are early numbers, and that can change as things go on. Georgina often gives a lot of input to Kelly in terms of strategy.
Fourth class.
Well, Georgina was doing some skipping before she decided to join up with Kelly Law.
Sorry, Marianne, I thought she said yeah.
I did say yeah, but then Nancy said board plus, and I said whoa.
Okay.
And then she said that. Good shot.
Ooh, what's that?
I know.
Jeez. Hey, George, right out.
Any particular reason for throwing the out turn at this stone rather than the in turn, Mike?
I'm not sure. I think they did throw the in turn last in the second end in this exact same spot. So you know, maybe Georgina prefers her out turn.
She missed the wide open hit with her in turn on that second end. I think Kelly probably wanted to just avoid that very same situation. I think Georgina is, you know, she's a good enough player to erase that from her mind when she go to throw it again. But why take any chances?
Whoa, whoa, whoa. No.
Just regular.
Yeah, regular.
Oh, Nance.
Straight up.
Mm-hmm.
Get over. Okay. Right. Good.
Marianne Way's shooter rolls out of play. And Kelly Law will attempt to move in behind the corner guard once again.
Fourish then.
And just another free run at it, and Colleen could have again played a come around, could have played a free, so that one over on the wings, and again playing conservatively. You don't play a lot of touch shots, and I always like to be the aggressor. You know, you're playing a few more draws, a few more lightweight hits, and come late in the game, you know you're going to have more opportunity to practice that draw weight.
Hard for line.
Weight's good.
Room. Hard for line.
Hurry.
Hard for line.
That was so close.
Team Canada needing to sweep that to get by the guard, but it slipped a little deep.
Of course, mine went sideways.
So are we talking 4.5?
Yours didn't curl, but mine.
You guys sweat mine.
Well, we said earlier that Julie Skinner appeared to be in the top of her game, and she's at 92% at this stage.
Whoa, room. Lots of room. What's the weight?
T. Whoa, never touch. Got to curl a lot. Close. No bounce.
Got to be here. 4 foot. Got to be 4.
Hard now.
It is.
Hard. Hard.
Hurry. Nice shot, Kim.
That's a great shot.
Shot, Kim. Boy, that stopped quick, Marianne.
That's, you know.
Huh?
Who's shot?
Where's shot?
They are.
They are.
They are?
Yeah.
Yep. Freeze rate on it, guys.
I don't think either Nancy or Marianne anticipated that stone stopping as quickly as it did.
Well, I think one thing they were concerned about was the line was a little different. It wasn't as tight to the guard as they wanted, and I think they were concentrating more on the line than they were about that the weight was coming down.
Tons of room. Close. We could go when we can.
Whoa.
Tons of
Gotta be in
room.
front.
Wait there. We got nothing.
Clean.
Here it comes. No bounce.
Good movement at the end.
Great shot.
Julie Skinner continuing to curl well.
Nice shot.
And as mentioned, there was a great finish in that zone. That's that out turn spot we're talking about, coming home in the even ends. Just like that inter spot, Colleen threw her draw last end against 3. And Colleen now it's in a little bit of an uncomfortable position. She's going to have to play a guard here and protect her one stone in the 4 foot.
Where am I?
Guard. Center.
Got all kinds, I think. Whoa.
Right on center.
Whoa.
Yeah, help it.
Yeah.
Help it.
Want it tight.
Right over center line. Little bit. Little more, little more, little more, little more.
Yeah, you're fine. Good shot, Kim.
Shot.
See, that's the only thing about staying over there. I wanted to go over here more. Because then she just goes around it, right?
That's a good point by Kim Kelly. That's exactly right.
I know.
Yeah.
That's what I did.
Oh, yeah. Would have done something.
Because if she sinks it, then what do we got?
So Kelly's looking to play the out turn draw into the top of the button here and sit for shot stone. If she can manage that again. She's going to force Colleen to make another tough shot here, and she's having great opportunity to put a lot of pressure on Colleen.
Take it the rest of the way. That's good. Yep. Okay.
You kind of guarding that one for your life this early in the end, and giving Kelly chances like this.
The other possibility, if Team Canada, Kelly Law, has a good rock with weight, but it hangs out by the guard, it will give Jones an opportunity to get in there for second shot.
Line's fine. Gotta go for weight.
Hurry for line!
They'll have to work to get it past the guard.
Hurry, 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 hurry. Hurry, hurry, hurry.
Great line.
Good shot. Good shot, Kelly. Okay.
Perfect line. A little light.
Skips, even as far as percentage is concerned.
Even if you tuck half, eh?
And that was a huge shot, even though they gave up a steal last time. It was a huge shot by Colleen to kind of hold them to one. I think if you told her in the hack you're only going to give up one here, she would have been very pleased. And Colleen again forced to another difficult shot, very similar to the shot that Kelly threw.
Got to be top 4.
Okay. And just half tucked, eh? Actually, it'll all tuck, I think. Yeah.
You what?
Nothing.
A little more, Nancy.
Colleen is facing the same type of situation.
And if she can get this half around that stone at the top of the forefoot, she's going to be in good shape. What she does not want to do here is slip behind the tee line and give Kelly an out. She'd be better off leaving this top 8 in a position where she can use it later.
Line looks good.
Line's great. Got lots of room.
Close line. Coming. Line only. Line's great.
I think we need to.
Line's fine. Line's fine. We're high. Now? Right here. You can go anytime. Nice. Yeah. Not behind, though. Not behind.
You're right.
But if you can just go a little bit to the second shot. Oh.
I don't think they got second shot. I think the red at the back maybe second shot.
Okay.
I don't know. It's pretty good shot though by Colleen. I don't know that Kelly can do a lot with it.
Well, the overhead view
Control. Okay. Yeah.
isn't conclusive.
No, wouldn't want to make a big wager, especially this week. There seems to be ties and whatnot going on in these measures and stuff. So, but Kelly, if she can nose this, Colleen really won't have any chance to score 2 points here.
Or is it fully open?
Pardon me? Control. Okay.
Surprised we didn't get some more finish than that.
Okay. Sounds good.
Yep.
We could have swept it a bit at the end and tucked it.
She can just see enough of that stone Jones to throw a quiet weight hit and stay right there. She does not want to roll away and give Colleen the same draw for 2.
Yes, by hitting this one and staying right there, it'll make Colleen's shot for 2 very difficult.
Whoa!
Clean.
Whoa!
Clean it.
No roll.
Whoa!
Whoa, no roll. No roll.
Nice shot, Kelly.
Good shot.
Well, Colleen has the same shot as she had with her first stone on this fourth end. She has a chance to draw for 2.
It's a good shot.
Okay, give me exactly where I was.
We have to be careful though. This time we can sweep it a little. Yeah.
This is a huge shot in terms of momentum in this game. She kind of escaped last end, only giving up a steal once. So if she can make this draw for 2, tie the game, go into the 5th end, back where they started, I think they'll feel very, very confident going into the later part of the game.
And you can see Kim and Marianne don't mess with Colleen's routine in the hack. They've just thrown this. There's not a lot to be said. It was pretty good the first time. We know that you can throw the same thing.
Kelly Law watches as Colleen Jones focuses on the brush. The final stone of the fourth end.
Full 4. It's a lot less.
Full 4.
Hard all the way.
Hard.
That's great. Full 4.
Hard
The
line.
sweepers seem to suggest that the weight was less than the previous stone.
I think the early indication from the split time with the sweepers is that they need to sweep this one. It's lighter than the first.
Not quite.
And then it just stopped.
Just the one.
That's okay.
Yeah.
She had to
So
moved that stone about another 6 inches to get second shot. So Jones just gets one, and it's 2-1 Canada after 4.
So close.
'89, Heather Houston of Team Canada draws for 4 to seal Manitoba's fate en route to an 11-5 victory. The Heather Houston Rink, back-to-back champions at the 1989 Scott. Team Canada's Kelly Law with a 2-1 lead over Colleen Jones of Nova Scotia after 4. Next weekend on CBC Sports Saturday, we invite you to join us for the World Bobsleigh Championships from Saint-Moritz, Switzerland. The Air Looters of Canada won, hoping to overcome some sled problems and slow starts and regain his prominence as the Olympic champion. It all begins at 3:30 Eastern. Back upstairs, Don.
Colleen Jones getting just a single point on this end, and listen to what the sweepers say.
Mine's nice. Full 4.
It's a lot less.
Full 4.
You see Kim Kelly using the interval timing from the very first back line to the first hog line. She knew from the split time that that rock was less than her first one.
And despite their efforts, they were unable to get it there for second shot. But they knew from the outset that they were going to have to work the entire sheet of ice to try and draw that stone in.
Kind of died.
79. Oh my land, you guys did well.
Oh, me neither. To be that close.
Good sweeping.
They were just talking about what that split time was, and as I said earlier, back line to the first hog line is a split interval time. They're talking about 3 seconds, 0.79. And that was their referral. That's how they knew that they had to work that rock.
I wonder if it's going to slow down a little bit. Probably. Seems like it's doing it right now, actually.
Hard.
Hurry. So save it tight then?
Yep.
Tight as you can. Whoa.
I hope those were brushes that were clicking against each other and not against the rock.
You often hear that noise. Actually, I was listening because I'm very surprised to hear that the original call was for that rock to come into the house. Colleen Jones is down 1, does not have last rock, and needs to get back in this game. I would have thought it would have been, the call would have been a guard.
It's okay,
And it mistakenly turned out perfect. I think a foot from the house is exactly where you want to throw it.
We got rim.
But you're going to see Kelly Law's team play an aggressive style. They're going to try to get around this one, even though it's really tight to the rings.
Top 8's fine too, right?
Gotta go.
Yeah.
Hard, 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 hard.
Nice shot, guys.
Nice shot.
Diane Nelson gets a piece of the 4-foot.
Did we get anything around it? Great weight.
Had wonderful weight, just did not have the right line. It's fully open.
Forward. Clean. Clean.
It's wanting to come, but here it comes. Nice weight, Nance.
Nice weight.
Hang on, Hunter. Hey.
2 stones in play. 1 yellow rock of Nova Scotia is in front.
I think
the
so.
biter on the edge of the 12.
This is good. Yep. Yep.
Kelly Law is recognizing that this center line guard is the one that'll get her into trouble. And she's ignoring the rock in the house, saying, let's get rid of this one and roll to a corner guard, which would be much more to their advantage.
Whoa!
Just nice weight.
She's thinking good.
Come on.
Sit, sit, sit. Okay, Di. Good shot.
Almost rolled in.
Be interesting to see what Colleen does here. She may throw a center guard, knowing that
Right,
Kelly hit
you
that
guys?
one. I mean, it's in a good spot for you. You know Kelly's going to hit it. Gives you a couple free opportunities.
Yeah,
Because she's lying 1 rock, she may, the other option she could do is to split the house and lie 2.
Halfway to tight.
Oh dear, that's really short.
Halfway to tight.
I don't know how tight it is.
Hard all the way. Okay, easy. Okay.
good shot, Marianne.
mean, she's shown she's going to feel.
Well, exactly.
Maybe
I
it's 'cause
said the
it's
same
tight,
thing.
but
I said the same thing.
Yeah, they're just conferring just
I don't know
what
if
you
she'll keep
talked
doing
about.
it,
Mike.
though. I don't know if she'll keep doing it.
She just changed her mind.
Yeah, I figured she'd do that.
4.5 down here.
Yeah, she has changed her mind.
Hey, George.
And the reason she's done this is the stone's out further away from the rings, less risk to Kelly, and you know, fairly good opportunity. She's using this turn that curls, and George is going to be asked to throw it in here top of the forefoot.
Whoa, lots
This is the cat and mouse strategy of curling. Is trying to guess what the other team will do next.
Kind of wait. No.
Just
Close.
Just in.
Yep. Whoa. Let it move. Yes. Finish it. Yes.
Nice shot.
Well, Georgina Wheatcroft's percentages in the early ends may not have been that good, but that certainly atones for some of those earlier miscues.
Sit on it or hack weight?
And George had one open miss in the third end. I mean, curling 60%, that one miss would indicate that. But you know, Georgina will fight back hard, and she's a great competitor.
All the way through then? Yep.
And this is a good opportunity for Colleen to play a freeze. That stone's right on the button, and it's, you know, she could use that to her advantage. But again, choosing to move it out of the house, it's a very, very conservative move.
Hack.
Oh, dear.
Never. Never.
She's trying to.
Curl, baby.
Coming.
Watch that 4-foot line. It has to move a fair bit to make contact.
Go hard.
Get over.
Not enough to take it out.
That shot's also more difficult too. You have to miss the guard a lot tighter. The weight has to be perfect. With the freeze, you can leave it 2 or 3 feet short on line, and you know, there are a lot more options available to you if you throw the quieter weight and play the soft touch shots.
A few of those either or.
Definitely. I think if she makes that shot and removes Team Canada's rock, they're sitting in a good spot too. So as we've often talked about, strategy is if you make the shot, you know.
Just a little lighter. Okay. Hey, George.
All the brushing could not take that red rock past the guard.
And as we mentioned in the opening, this has been the theme of the week. Missed opportunities after missed opportunities. And this lets Colleen off the hook, lets her play a little hit and roll in behind these guards. And the whole momentum of the end has changed.
Hard all the way. Hard.
This may be a missed opportunity as well.
Whoa.
We also talked about the 4-foot lines, and teams are a little bit afraid of the 4-foot line because sometimes if you get a little bit out, it'll go away from the rock that you're trying to hit. If you get a little bit in, it'll actually curl. It's very release sensitive, and I think we're seeing the teams being just a little bit tentative around it.
I don't know what I did there.
Yeah.
Yours was,
I think like your last one here.
yeah.
It's almost like there's no easy way around it, though, because it's been like this all week, and the ice is, as I said, it's more to do to the conditions that they're playing on rather than the curlers themselves. Because you know, usually you don't see this type of missing at this level.
It's hanging.
Now you see Julie's out turn in the same spot as running straight with the draw, and that's just because a little bit of a different release than Kim used on her hit.
Just leave it.
That draw almost curled less than Kim's full weight hit did.
Okay, you're exactly right, and I think it has everything to do with the release.
Great weight. Didn't curl.
Didn't curl an inch.
I didn't think the last one was regular. That's all.
Okay.
Is there a difference in the release of Kelly and Skinner?
Certainly. Every player has some tendencies that they perform when they're giving the release on their rock. They have just certain little things that they do.
Little more.
Key is knowing them. I mean, that's the big thing, and being consistent, and that's going to help your skip give you the right broom, and it's going to help you as a curler do the same, make more shots. But you know, when it's such small changes in your release are affecting the stone so drastically, which is again, this is unusual. It's difficult as a player to overcome the conditions.
Whoa. Whoa! Hanging again, guys. It's hanging.
Now,
Clean it.
looking back at the statistics for Team Canada for the week, their out turns were a little bit lower percentage than their in turns.
Right over.
Okay.
Scary spot, man.
Well, I threw it great.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Good shot.
Yeah. It's tough there, eh? I threw it pretty good, eh?
Okay, Julie.
Yeah.
You threw it good.
I need confirmation. Somebody tell me I threw that good. I want to have thrown that good. And I really do. I think she did release that well.
Kelly's not going to say no either. I don't think. No, Julie, that wasn't very good at all. But, Colleen's got an opportunity here to get out of the end. She's got a tough double, but it is there. And Colleen likes her out turn.
Hard! Skinny
Hurry! Hard on the way! Hard!
Straight up.
Hurry, hurry, hurry!
Whoa. Right
Whoa.
over. Oh. Yeah.
A little surprised they weren't even trying it
skinny
there. They
double
swept
there,
that all
skipper?
the way and had it roll right across the face.
No, I'm just
No,
thinking.
no,
of
yeah, maybe. Yeah.
That just came up, Colleen. Huh? That just came up. You were right up.
Yeah, I didn't take any ice on it. You know.
Yeah, but I still expected you to be straight
Yeah.
there. It's a good throw.
I like that. I wonder if it's perfect. Okay, let's go.
Well, we talked about missed opportunities on this end and throughout the game. What do we have? 3 missed opportunities on this end alone.
And certainly 2 ends ago as well, where there was a number of jump shots, as we would refer to them, missed.
What's that?
This is a great opportunity for Kelly to score 2. And you know, if she buries this one at the top of the 8-foot or top 4-foot, Colleen's going to
Hey, Kelly.
almost certainly hit that back one and give her 2.
Yes, for line.
Line's good.
Hurry for line.
Line's
Room.
good. Whoa!
Room. Close. Yes! Hurry for line. Room.
Whoa! Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Nice shot, Kelly. Great shot. Great shot.
They had to work on that to get it past the guard.
Nice shot.
Team Canada
I
lies
could
2.
tell by the way you threw it that it was going to curl.
I know.
Nice shot. Great one.
Did leave Colleen
It's the
an
weight.
out.
Yeah.
Again, another hit and roll. That same shot she just played in the same spot.
Especially not for his hitting the roll.
Kelly would have liked that shot about 4 feet
roll over
shorter,
there.
top of the
Yeah.
8-foot. Half around would have been fine.
But they had to brush it to get it past the guard.
That's right. Yeah, that's right. They couldn't afford to wreck either.
Contrast the styles of these 2 skips. Colleen Jones in the hack. Very quiet. Been very
Little
quiet
last, Nance.
all game. Not talking much to her third, not talking much to her team. To Kelly, coming down to the hack, talking to her front end, talking to her third a lot more.
Hard! Hurry! Whoa! Whoa! Whoa, whoa,
Backing
whoa.
it up.
Whoa!
How are we looking, Nance?
It's looking
Oh,
real nice.
Marianne, hard! Hurry,
Right over, right over, right over.
Good shot.
Beautiful shot
great
by
shot.
Colleen Jones. And she breathes a sigh of relief as she makes her way down the ice.
Skipper.
Do you think
Little flick in.
me? Okay. Is that what you're gonna ask?
Yep. No flickies. Okay, no more flickies.
Talking about how she released her rock earlier in the end.
Okay.
Same shot.
A great save for Colleen Jones, saving the end so that Team Canada has just this draw for 1 point.
And although down 2 points going into the break, if Kelly makes a shot, they're going to have to feel pretty good about what's gone on. They haven't played their best, and they're still very much in this game.
So far, neither side has been able to crack a deuce.
Well, right off.
Not really many opportunities for
Right
more than one.
Clean.
No.
No. Clean now. Whoa.
Clean.
Clean now.
Whoa.
Clean now.
Whoa.
Got.
Whoa.
Clean. Clean, we're fine. Clean, please. Nice shot.
One red.
With the final stone, a single point for Kelly Law and Team Canada. And at the midpoint of this match, Team Canada leads by 2.
(1991) Heidi Hanlon of New Brunswick hoping to draw for 1 to tie in the 10th. Her rock picks and veers off course, and BC gets a steal in a 7-5 victory. The Julie Sutton Rink of BC, 1991 Scott champions. Welcome back to Sudbury, Ontario, a city that has embraced the 20th anniversary of the Scott Tournament of Hearts, a great outdoor country here on the Canadian Shield, and this is what they're after here today. The Scott Trophy as the top Canadian women's curler in the country. Here's the scoring recap for Nova Scotia's Colleen Jones. She scored 1 in the 4th, but was just inches short of a deuce there and trailing 3-1, Colleen, at the 5th end break. Well, you've done this more than I have. I'll let you be the analyst right now and tell us how it's been going.
Well, you know what? Team Canada came out and played how we expected them to play, and that was really, really strong. And in the 3rd end, they made a couple of really nice pistols, came around our corner guard perfectly, and we came a little bit heavy on a couple of shots, and next thing you know, I'm facing 3. Yeah. So I was thankful to even give up just a steal of 1 there, because it was a tough draw to make. And then we came right back the next end, and we're ready to score our deuce, and I came up just a little bit light, but I'm thankful to have just made that hit and roll to force her to a 1, because if you give up a deuce at this point, you're dead.
Quickly, strategy for the next 5.
Woo! Strategy for the next 5, you won't tell. It's just between you, us, and them, right?
The whole country.
I know, but not, you know, you won't tell Canada. Well, it's 3-1. We have hammer. We've got to score a deuce, but we are a very, very patient team. We are muckers and grinders. We don't mind waiting for our opportunity. We wait until it's just absolutely right before we do go. Right. Now, if you tell, everybody's going to know that he told on me, so.
Getting the old TV wind-up here. You've had your time.
Wind-up, that's right. Hi to everybody in CBC Morning. See you later.
All right, Colleen, good luck in the next 5. Up to the booth now. Don, Joan, and Mike.
Well, I hope Colleen doesn't have to be in the studio tomorrow morning at 7 o'clock in Halifax and News World. Anyway, I think, Joan, she's going to have to be more aggressive in end number 6 to get back in this game.
Well, I'm a little concerned when she says she's going to be patient. I think she's run out of time. It's time to go now. It's time to set up some corner guards, to play aggressive, and to make some things happen.
Mike, you and Joan both talked at the start of our telecast about missed opportunities. We have seen a bundle of them in this game.
Yeah, and it's really been the story of the week. I said even in the game during the week when Colleen gave up 3 in the 10th to lose that one, and she actually got here by virtue of some other misses. So it's not a surprise. The ice conditions are very, very difficult, and you know, hopefully things will pick up. But you know, I wouldn't anticipate a big change in compared to what's gone on this week.
Well, Colleen said being down 2 isn't really a bad situation. Let's find out what Kelly Law thinks of her position. She's leading, and she's standing by with Mark.
All right, Don, and here's the scoring recap for Kelly Law. Blanking the 1st, scoring 1 in the 2nd, a steal of 1 in the 3rd, and another score of 1 in the 5th, and a 3-1 lead here at the 5th end break. Kelly, you've had Colleen under pressure. Do you continue to want to do that?
Yes, we do. We'll just probably keep the same style as the first half and just try to keep our play as it is right now. We feel really confident and feel like we're throwing very well.
Now, this is just a sophomore rink, 2nd year, but you guys have all kinds of experience winning the Worlds in the Scott last year. You've got an 87 title from Georgina and a 91 title from Julie, so there must be a lot of composure and experience on this rink.
Yeah, you know, it's really nice for me to look down the sheet and see all the experience. So we've had a lot of games, and we've been playing for so long, and nationals and worlds, and this is very comfortable for us. So we're feeling good, and hopefully we can keep it up in the second half.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Thanks, Kelly. Kelly Law of Team Canada leading Nova Scotia's Colleen Jones by a score of 3-1 at the 5th end break. When we come back, we'll visit with the rest of the Sandra Schmerler rink. They're carrying on in curling, but it isn't easy. That's when we come back to Sudbury. In the years since Sandra Schmirler's tragic death, her 3 closest friends and former teammates have returned to curling. But their efforts to move on with their lives and rekindle their renowned rink has been an emotional struggle.
To me, curling and Sandra were sort of synonymous, and so now I think normal curling is gone. I don't think it'll ever feel normal to me.
They were the team of the 90s, and maybe of all time. 3 Scott Tournament of Hearts, 93, 94, and 97. 3 times world champions, and historically, winners of the first Olympic gold medal in curling. The Sandra Schmirler rink ruled women's curling. The author of a new book on Sandra's inspirational life and untimely death says her rink thrived as much on chemistry as brilliant strategy and shot making.
I think they were all like soul sisters. They were that close. They got to know one another so well. I think that was part of the dynamic of this team, that they all worked so well together.
If the defending Olympic champions were to qualify for the Olympic trials, they had to get back on the ice only months after Sandra's death. They were still grieving and faced the painful task of finding someone to replace their fabled skip.
She'll always be missed, and she'll always be in my thoughts and my prayers. And what are you going to do? You can't stay at home, stay at home and cry. You have to go on, and that's the choice that we made. We chose to continue.
It was hard, and we knew the time was ticking, and we knew that if we were seriously going to make a run for it, that we had to make a call.
Joan called in March, and she said, "I guess you know why I'm calling." And I said, "No, actually, I have no idea." And she said, "Well, we would like you to skip our team." And I was just floored.
I think her enthusiasm set us going in the right direction. That was the first time that I felt excited about playing again, was when she said, "Let's go."
This new rink has rushed to recapture its prowess without success. They're down to a last chance qualifier for the trials. And while curling has helped them heal, it's also been a test.
There's been a lot of public grieving. It's been in our face a lot. We've never had a lot of time to grieve for her by ourselves. But in a way, it had to be done. And if it wasn't done this year, it would be at some point down the road that you needed to face the curling world without Sandra.
At the Cali Club in Regina, the Schmirler rink finds refuge in their local league. And on this night, another Shannon fills in at skip. Shannon England, Sandra's widower. It's a place where they can curl and find comfort on the long road ahead.
You just never know when a big wave of grief will hit. And when it does, it's nice to have somebody that you can lean on.
We just kind of had to survive this fall. And I think our competitors helped us do that. They respected our need to play. It didn't make the pain kind of go away. It just meant that we were kind of trying to get on with our lives, and it's going to take some time. It's going to be a long time before we can step out on a sheet of ice and not immediately think about Sandra.
And time is of the essence for this team in mourning. They have one last chance to qualify for the Olympic trials, and that will come in a few weeks' time in Okotoks, Alberta. We'll have the 6th end here in Sudbury when we come back.
20 years ago in Regina, this trophy was first presented to Colleen Jones. She won it again in 1999, but she will be hard-pressed to engrave her name for a 3rd time on that trophy, as she is in a battle with the defending champion Kelly Law of British Columbia, trailing by 2 as we get set for end number 6. And as we said during the break, I think if Colleen Jones is harboring any hopes of making a comeback, she has to become more aggressive.
I think there's a lot to be said for being patient. You definitely need to have patience in this game, but you got to weigh that with making opportunities for yourself. I think listening to Colleen in her interview, she said several times over that we're quite grateful and we're happy that we made this shot and we came out of this end. And now we're going to play patient. I think sometimes you got to make things happen for yourself. And that's what we mean by throwing around, coming around guards and throwing up some corner guards.
In midweek, when they were 3 and 4, if you would have told members of the Jones foursome that they were going to be in the final, they would have said, yes, we'll take it.
Definitely.
But here she is again, removing the stone just delivered by Diane Nelson.
I can understand removing this stone, or at least, you know, considering it when it's a very good position, center line, on the forefoot, touching the button. But in this case, where it's just in the top of the house, I don't know why she's not utilizing the free guard zone on this very first stone and throwing up a corner guard. What are your thoughts, Mike?
Yeah, and it's, I think the time to go is now. There's no time like the present, and you only get so many opportunities. You're only 5 ends away, and they're going to need to score not only one deuce, but they'll probably have to score a couple to win this game.
It's less split, though.
Conversely, I think Kelly Law is quite happy with the way it's unfolding.
Absolutely, and the more ends that Colleen hits, the happier she is. I mean, up 2, it's a good situation to be in, and as the time winds down, you know, the one feeling the pressure is going to be Colleen.
I think the word that Kelly has used is she's feeling quite comfortable.
This is sport on the end.
Colleen's not doing anything to change that feeling either. I mean, exchanging hits for a couple of ends is going to be just what, you know, it's going to help Kelly even become more comfortable.
Yep. Hard. Hard. Hurry. Hard all the way. Hard. Hard, 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 hard. Good one. Although they can hit now. Yeah, they might hit it on the nose. Your nose is not bad. Hey, George, read at it. She likes the double, I think.
There is a double possibility there for Georgina Wheatcroft.
Whoa. Normal. Clean. Whoa. Yeah. Yeah. Hurry.
Over top.
She's got one, and she just rolls over top of the Yellowstone.
It's very close to maybe giving it a little bump and getting it to be a biter.
Yeah. I kind of like the nose.
And Colleen got the break she's looking for.
You guys, I like this way better
can
for
control the end now, throw up a corner
around.
guard with without any risk. So
yeah, because it'll bend.
no
so
excuses
nice
here
there.
not to throw the card.
And Colleen taking some time to decide where the rocks might curl the most, where we can put this corner guard so that we might be able to come around it.
And you know, I mean, they're playing the outturn side coming in the even ends and the in-turn side going away in the odd ends, and that's, as I said, throughout the playoff games, this has been the only place that's moved on this sheet beat.
Good.
Good shot.
Nice one. Yep. What do we need, Di? 4?
Law is calling upon Georgina Wheatcroft to go in behind the corner guard.
A defensive option for Law would be to peel off that guard, but she's choosing to be aggressive and keep putting the pressure on Nova Scotia.
Center of it.
Got lots of room.
And it would appear lots of weight.
Now it's going to go through because it's in that band.
It's going to sit.
Hey, George. Okay. Okay, good job. There you go, girl. What'd you get?
Snow. Colleen Jones was just showing Kelly Law the brush that she's using, a push broom, and the hairs on it were covered white with frost. And that's what we talked about in our opening, about how this was going to happen in the last half of the game. You'll see rocks coming into the house and how they will come to a stop sooner than what you would think so.
That's a skip sweep, too.
Line only.
That was a skip.
Lots of room.
Okay, weight's good. Tell us when.
Full 8.
And we'll see the girls
Weight's
if they
Full 8. Weight's there.
sweep
Grinding
the
in.
rock
Can we go?
a lot. You'll see when they lift their brushes,
Yep.
it'll have some white frost on it.
I'm going to take that. Yeah, I think the bunch is not that good.
Yeah, but you want to keep it for the house, okay?
Yeah. Sure is grinding in the house.
Kim Kelly just confirming that it is grinding when it gets into the rings.
Well, I mean, you don't want it behind us.
Another indication of the frost is when you see those kind of lines on the house, little marks.
Whoa. Yes! Yep! Hurry! Hurry!
Julie Skinner pushes the Yellowstone through for BC, our Team Canada, to lie 2. Are those the lines you're talking about?
You can see all the marks, and especially in this house, you can see how it's a little frosty towards the back of the house, and the marks of where the sweepers and the players have been walking along, making lines.
Play the double. Whoa. Playing the double. Yep.
Not gonna. No, whoa, it's gonna overcurl. Whoa, we still got a chance at the roll.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Any roll you got, Marianne?
Any little bit.
Didn't make either option for Kim Kelly. She could have made the double or the hit and roll.
And again, an aggressive play would have been just to move that stone to the back of the 8-foot and create a bit of a wall at the back of the house. And again, Colleen choosing to play very, very conservatively. And you know, so time's going to become an issue in this game.
Quite a bit of ice for that. Okay. Nice.
One of the factors in calling a game are using strategy that has worked in the past. And I think in the round robin, this kind of strategy for Colleen Jones worked. She got the wins that she needed by playing very conservatively.
Curl! Nice shot.
Julie Skinner has made 2 very good takeouts on this 6th end.
Nice shot.
Team Canada lies 2.
It's too much.
And Julie brought her A game. We talked about she being kind of the least consistent of Kelly Law's team, and she's obviously playing well. You know, you always get the feeling that you're due when you've kind of struggled throughout the week and you're expecting a big game, and she's coming up with the goods.
Whoa. Yep, play the double. Whoa. Close.
No.
A double possibility exists. There's one, but she drives it straight back onto the other. Team Canada still lies 1.
Broom in the house.
Do you think Marianne should sweep with it? I mean, when I swept in this house.
I think it's just in the house.
I know, but what about when they're coming in for a draw? You're holding the broom.
Depends on the shot, I guess.
Just keep getting no's no matter what I do.
Colleen's got a hair broom. The other 3 members have synthetic heads on their brooms, and usually in a frost conditions, teams like switching to hair just because it seems to pick up the snow a little bit better.
Okay.
And players are allowed to interchange brooms.
And there's lots of theories about what players want to use in the house, as Mike was talking about the hair versus the synthetic head. And many players think playing in the arena that they may want to use the hair broom, but I've also seen in conditions where the frost is getting quite bad, the hair is actually stirring up more frost than it can clear away. And it also becomes less effective.
Whoa. Hard up.
Whoa.
Hard right up. Hurry! Hurry! Whoa! Whoa!
Whoa, 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 whoa.
Whoa!
Whoa, 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 whoa.
Too much.
Oh,
okay, shoot. Good shot.
Sorry. I thought it was curling.
That's okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Team Canada still lies 2.
Sorry.
Nice shot, Kelly.
You threw it good. It's fine. I thought it was honking over there.
Well, it looked like it was trying, but then it stopped.
This is a good opportunity for Colleen to play a freeze down to Kelly.
Yeah, I think she's freezing. Yeah.
And possibly create an opportunity for 2 points.
There's snow in the house, big time. That's not going to do anything. So I'd sweep with the horse. I kind of think front sweeper should have that.
Okay.
Do you not feel comfortable with it?
Well, not really. I'll do it, second sweeper.
Okay.
Yeah.
What am I throwing, 4.5? What? Okay. Freezing. Little less, Nance.
Okay, that looks good.
Really coming down in the house.
Okay. We'll make sure we're moving.
Once again, front-end players making a big sacrifice for the skip. Colleen not wanting to use that broom.
Line only! I think it needs it.
Just to it! Just to it! Just to it!
Yeah!
Line's fine! Just to it! Just to it! Whoa! Just to it! Right to it, though. Right to it, right to it. Okay, nice shot.
See what I mean?
Yeah.
Pretty good shot. I think it's about possibly about half exposed though. Good weight by Colleen though, and good sweeping by Kim.
We did need to go for line, eh? I guess we didn't stop. Oops, I'm on the wrong side.
Probably half to 3/4. Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
There's a good look at it. You can see but at least half of that Yellowstone. They're hoping to freeze that up a little bit straighter and make this shot a little tougher for Kelly.
So I was thinking hack.
Thinking what? What kind of weights?
Hack.
Okay.
2 stones remain on this 6th end. Team Canada leading Nova Scotia 3-1.
You'll probably be on
That's
the
what she's
stronger
looking
side
for.
of pack, though.
Okay.
Okay.
Right at it.
Yep.
By not getting the perfect freeze, Team Canada has a chance of picking out the shot stone and still lying 2.
Whoa, guys. Whoa, Georgia.
Out there. Clean now.
No!
Whoa, clean.
Whoa!
Clean it.
It's looking good.
Whoa!
Nice quiet weight by Kelly.
Good shot. I gotta get on this one. Right out! Nice shot. I knew it was there. Nice shot, Kelly. Okay.
That's good. Nice shot.
Final stone of end
Nice
6,
shot,
and
Kelly.
Colleen Jones
I knew
is
you had a
again
piece,
drawing
so I'll make
against
sure.
3,
I
but
know.
this draw
Nice shot.
easier than on the 3rd end when she had 2 of the stones around the 4-foot.
Nice shot.
Absolutely, but giving up a steal of 1 here would be, huge in terms of the momentum of this game. But as you mentioned, Don, it is quite a bit easier than the one she threw in the 3rd.
And at the Mayflower Curling Club in Halifax, they're thinking positively. They're thinking that
Let us
Colleen
know
will
if we
make
have
this
backing,
draw
okay,
and
Colleen?
pick up 1 to narrow the gap to 1.
I think she'll make it.
There's no reason to think otherwise. Colleen has just thrown this stone. And anytime you give a player the chance to make 2 exact same shots in a row, the chances of them making them are very good.
Full
Line's
four.
nice. Line's great.
No
What is that?
backing.
Do you need backing?
Yeah. No!
No, it's okay.
Okay, whoa, it's not on it.
We will need backing.
Okay,
Should we clean?
Just leave it. No.
Shot.
It's a good thing the backing was there.
Never a doubt.
Colleen Jones with her final stone of this 6th end picks up a single point. 4 ends remain, and it's a 1-point game.
Pardon me?
That looked to be the same weight as your first one,
One
yet
yellow,
it really
yes.
slid. Good throw.
1994, Team Canada's Sandra Peterson saves her best shot for last. A hit and stick for 3 to beat Manitoba's Connie Laliberty. The Sandra Peterson rink repeats as Scott champions in 1994. The trophy table is all set here in Sudbury to crown the 2001 Scott champion. Next Saturday on CBC Sports Saturday, the Flying Finns host the Ski Jumping World Championships from Lahti, Finland. It's week 1 of our coverage of the Nordic World Championships beginning at 1:30 Eastern next Saturday on CBC Sports Saturday. After 6 ends, Team Canada leading Nova Scotia 3-2 as we get set for the 7th stand.
And both teams have been to that trophy table before. Getting there again is the immediate objective, but both teams are thinking ahead to next fall and the Olympic trials that will take place in Regina. And both Jones and Law have secured a spot in the Olympic trials as a result of their Scott Tournament of Hearts victories in 1999 and 2000. And one last chance remains. And Joan McCusker, you'll be in Okotoks mid-March.
I will be during the women's players event, the last Olympic trials qualifying spot. And as a result of their performance here, Shelley Bradley will also qualify for that event. There'll be 8 teams there, and hopefully the best team is going to win. Go on to the trials, the Roar of the Rings in Regina.
And congratulations to Mary-France LaRouche and her team who qualified for the Olympic trials here by virtue of their fourth place performance here. And they had a great week and were certainly the crowd favorites here.
And they lost such a heartbreaking decision. 4 or 5 times the officials had to measure in a playoff game against Ontario. 1 point for Quebec, but measuring for a second to force an extra end. And it was determined that the 2 rocks were even. So as a result, they scored just 1 point.
She can't get hers in there.
Never seen that before in my experience of curling. When I asked Arlene Day about it, the head official, had that ever happened before? She said, yes, it has happened once or twice before, but never to determine the outcome of a game. And it was just so heartbreaking to see the game end that way.
Yep. Whoa. Close. No. Yep. Whoa. 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 Off. Get over. Oh, good. Sorry. Okay. Good throw.
Well, it doesn't look like that Colleen's going to make any unnecessary aggressive moves until she's really has to, which will come down to the 9th or 10th end. So, again, this is great for Kelly. It makes her shots easier and allows her to play a few more touch shots as well. And you know, if you're going to need one late in the game, it's nice to be practicing them on all the way through.
Whoa, up a bit. Whoa. Normal.
Most of these women, including Diane Nelson, have participated in provincial mixed playdowns before and have represented their province in the national mixed championships. Colleen Jones has won it on 2 occasions, 1 year curling with her husband Scott.
First time I met Georgina Hawks at that time, it was the 1989 Canadian Mixed Championship in Brandon.
Another opportunity for Nova Scotia to get the hit and roll behind the guard.
Whoa, yeah. Nice regular. Whoa, whoa. Good, Marianne. Straighten up there a bit.
Trying.
Yeah, good.
That was a nice control weight from Marianne, and as you heard Colleen say, it is a little straight there, maybe getting a little straighter even as the game has gone on.
That was normal.
Well, that was ugly, man. Well.
Yeah, Georgina's talking about her delivery out of the hack. Came out a little bit wobbly, kind of did some, used the old rudder on her back leg to try to get her behind the rock.
No shame in that. Artistic, we just call that artistic. A very artistic delivery.
Marcy always says we're like snowflakes and there's no 2 deliveries alike.
The Marcy Joan referred to as Marcy Bitterite, the lead on the Olympic Championship team, 3-time Canadian and World Championship squad.
This rock is getting higher and higher in the house.
Yeah, go. Oh, it's so dead in there. I should sweep it.
And that's exactly just the frost buildup that we're referring to. As the game wears on and humidity increases in here, temperature goes up, the frost just continues to build and build and build, and the rocks don't react quite the same as they did early in the game.
Well, the term is often used, lively rings, or as Colleen just said, it's dead in here. There's not much movement once contact is made.
And it dictates how much of the stationary stone you need to hit to make the big roll across the house.
No.
Not
a piece of it? Not even a piece of it? Shoot. Good thing she had that nice weight. Yeah. Nice shot. Okay, George, good one.
Did stay around in the house, and that's exactly what they needed to do to keep Colleen Jones preoccupied with the rocks and the rings instead of drawing around the guard.
Georgina Wheatcroft during the round robin play was the best second in the competition at 84%. Really struggling with her game this afternoon.
Whoa. No. Woo.
So you think back into the game, though, there really hasn't been a shot that's, other than the one in the 3rd end, the open hit, or the 2nd end, I guess it was, that you
Look
can
at
really
how
stand
much came out of it on the way down.
You know, a lot of it has to do with the shots you're playing and how much of an effect it has on the outcome.
Colleen's
conservative strategy is allowing her to play so hitting and rolling out and all this stuff really doesn't hurt that badly when there's not very many rocks in play.
And then I can do the draw. So weight is what, 24.3? Because 24 is too heavy, isn't it? Hit and roll in.
Okay.
Experienced players know that you can throw those percentages out the window when it comes down to the very end of the game, and you need all your shots to count. That's what matters.
Julie Skinner, prior to calling Kelly Law last year and suggesting they form a team, had never
We had to sweep it for the frost. It was dying.
had never played anything but skip. She'd always been a skip,
that rock. It just stopped.
except for the 1 year at junior when she was with her sister. So it was a decision for Skinner to drop back to third stone with Kelly Law calling the game.
Nothing.
And of course last year it proved successful. They're hoping it will be a duplicate performance this year.
It's not gonna.
I should have swept it by.
No, 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 no. Marianne. Look at that.
She can't get a roll in.
Couple of options.
that
We
a
can go here.
Yeah, either that or over there. What do you like?
Or
Kim
here.
Kelly realizes almost upon release that this stone isn't going to bend enough.
That's not bad over there.
Yeah, two's huge. How many rocks do she has? 2 left.
Just 2 left.
Yeah, she has that in.
Tons of time, you guys.
Yeah.
Do we need timeout yet? Guess not, eh?
No.
Neither team is in danger of running out of time.
It's not behind.
33 minutes remaining. 33:45 for Team Canada, 33:18 on the time clock for
rocks left. Right?
Colleen Jones in her Nova Scotia rink.
So what if we put one
Well, if we go open and she goes after that,
She could chip the guard.
well, she could do a lot of things.
Or she could freeze to it and make a perfect shot.
Exactly.
She's not going to freeze.
You don't think so?
She could
Not
tap
right now,
it.
not on her first one.
No, it's right on the button, right?
Yeah.
What's your feeling, Kel? What's your gut?
Well,
I like both.
Yeah, I do too. I just don't want to set up a double for her.
Okay, let's go open side over here then.
Okay, which
On
side?
this
You
side.
want to go that side?
Well, if you go up inside this side, then she's got the double. If we're deep, we have to be even.
Yeah,
then.
that's true.
Right? If we go over
there,
here,
there's no double.
on the tee line.
But that's the shot she likes to throw, and
That's
she's
right.
made it twice.
That's right. So let's go
Right,
even
but over here, there's a double.
Yeah.
For tee line?
Up the middle one.
Yeah.
Not for tee line.
You like that side?
I don't
Don't
care.
mind it. Makes
Well,
her throw her
where's the
into
frost,
it, right?
man? We gotta look at that too.
Yeah, we're into the frost.
Okay. Let's go. You want to throw the out turn?
Yep.
Okay.
Well, they're talking about throwing the out turn draw down even, and they're worried about leaving a double for Colleen if they come a little deep this way.
Are we gonna get frost
My
here?
concern with throwing the other side is that you would leave it a little
Not so
high on
much
this
on
side
this
and then
side as the other
leave
side.
Colleen a
That's
double
another
to
good
hit
thing, right?
and roll and stay buried behind the center guard. So I think the call that they've made is the correct one, and I think it's the safer one in this situation.
If I get on this side of center. Okay. So 4 die?
I love the exchange, and I've noticed this since this team was put together, that Kelly goes to Georgina. It's Georgina that walks forward and says, let's have a chat about strategy. Not that Julie doesn't have great contribution and makes a lot of contribution, but it's almost the 3 of them that make that decision.
Few seconds are really pushy.
We are pushy.
There.
And we like it that way.
You're better.
Whoa, whoa.
It's got lines.
Okay.
Sit.
That's good.
So, Mike, there's the danger that you
Good shot.
suggested could exist if she came too deep with the draw.
But it's not actually that dangerous.
not
I mean,
great,
if
but it's not
Colleen
bad.
makes the double, I mean, they're still going to get out of the end without really that much of a risk. So Colleen's actually looking at playing a freeze here and
that's okay.
taking a bit of a risk.
It's not that much
Good for
more
her,
than
I would say, in this situation. This is a good opportunity for her.
Well,
With
it's
dead
counter
draw?
to what the Team Canada strategists were plotting.
Yeah.
They said, no, she won't try freeze.
I think they were thinking she would hit the
Right,
open
she
one.
stayed way over there. Yeah. Welded on.
Yeah, Colleen's looking at just coming down, freezing one right in the front here, face right on the button. And this would take the end away from Kelly and make it very difficult for her to score 2.
4.
First real pressure
No.
shot, not
What was
necessarily
it?
the
Yeah.
first one, but without the hammer for Colleen. It's the first real pressure shot that she's had to make.
Just slower in the house, that's all.
And again, Kim Kelly and Marianne Way talking about how it is slower in the rings.
Line's nice. Lots of room.
Blue room. Room.
I think we need
Lots of
room.
room. Full 8. Full.
Lots of room.
You go, yeah.
Lots of room. Just
in
to
the house,
it.
though. No bounce.
Just to it.
Get it there.
Just
Get it
to
there.
It's there.
Whoa,
We need
no
nose,
bounce. Because we're bouncing.
Okay, Colleen.
It's not a perfect shot, but it's not bad.
Not bad, but
Good
you
throw.
know, if I'm Kelly Law, I'm pretty happy right now. She's got a great chance here to hit and roll buried.
Board. I think that's perfect. Throw another one down. We threw another one down here earlier and we took a little bit more ice than that.
Yeah, I know, but
Straightening a bit, I think.
well, they're all sitting right
Yeah.
here.
Okay.
Right there.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go.
Yep.
Yeah, and look, I did have way too much weight. She's probably throwing, yeah, with that ice.
I'm thinking board. Okay.
If she can make this and roll to the top of the button, Colleen is going to be in just a huge pile of trouble. You
Just
got
gotta
one
get to
top
the nose,
four, one
that's
back
important.
four, and buried.
Looks
And
good.
she's going to have to draw this, make the same freeze. Yeah, otherwise, she might get 3 or 4.
Right at the rim.
Yeah.
In the 1 versus 2 game, this was a very similar situation, and this particular part of the ice that you have to be careful that if you turn it over, it'll curl very hard and the guard will come into play. If you push it out wide, it'll actually stay straight. So this is all in release
Whoa.
and a perfect
Wait,
throw.
it's good. Whoa. Whoa.
Whoa! It's got to curl. It's got to curl a ton.
She might push it back onto her own.
A nice shot.
Great shot,
Ooh,
Kelly.
she just got it through.
Great weight.
Maybe it was that last loud roar of curl.
Yeah.
She had great weight.
She did. It
Would
was
have dreamed at it.
just that soft weight
Nice
shot.
shot. Great weight.
Thanks.
Perfect weight.
Yeah.
That was what we needed. Good job. Very nice.
Huh?
And Colleen looking for the triple. She's got her hands full. Come in here, make contact,
What you playing, Skipper?
and hopefully this one will come over this way and remove all the red stones here. It's she's got her hands full, but even if she can make a double and only give up 2, but you know, she did play. There was a risky freeze that she played on her first one, not really in her nature, and this was the risk.
Another option for Colleen is just the hit
If I
and
get the
roll.
inside roll, Marianne.
Hard. Whoa. Whoa. Yeah. Whoa. 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 Whoa.
Jones facing 3. She's got 1. Oh, she came so close to making the triple.
Wow. Good shot.
That was the best she could do in that situation, I think, Mike.
Yeah, she had to throw quite a bit more weight and hit it quite a bit higher to make the triple. But as I said, I think she would have been happy to give up the 2.
Yeah, draw
in that
weight does
situation.
feel the exact same.
But again,
she
momentum
may
is
roll
just
it.
huge now.
Well,
Kelly's going to open it for 2,
Get your-
take command of this game going into the 8th end.
Annie, get your gun.
And they're still switching brooms just to be prepared in the house. Colleen is very confident that there's certain brooms that are going to work better on the frost than others.
The final stone out of the hand of Kelly Law on this 7th end. To hit and stick for 2 is the objective.
Flung it out there a bit.
It looks as though it's going to be a good shot. Yes, it hangs around. Not by much, but enough to score. A deuce and a 3-point lead through 7.
A little more than she wanted, I guess.
1997, the 10th end. Saskatchewan's Sandra Schmerler runs Allison Goring of Ontario out of rocks for an 8-5 win. The Sandra Schmerler rink captures its 3rd Scott title in 1997.
Welcome back to the Sudbury Arena. 3 ends remaining in this Scott Tournament of Hearts championship game. The winner will not only secure a berth in next year's Scott Tournament of Hearts as Team Canada, that tournament to take place in Brandon, but will also go on to represent Canada in April of this year at the World Curling Championships in Lausanne, Switzerland. And we'll have the women's and men's final from Lausanne for you on CBC television.
Come on, guys. Hard, hard. Hurry, hurry, hurry. Right up. Oh, good shot, Di. Good shot, Di.
I don't think you're going to see Kelly be going behind these corner guards that Colleen throws up anymore. She's up 3, playing the 8th, and
78 again.
said time is on her side now. She's going to be peeling for home.
Whoa, God, it's rusty.
Halfway to tight.
Oh, we don't have the right
Halfway.
brooms.
That frost buildup continuing to affect the shooting.
Halfway.
Well, it affects the sweeping.
It's halfway. It's there. Tighter.
The friction on
It's a
your
little
brush,
tighter.
but also your
That's
footing
good.
when you're a
That's
sweeper,
good.
and the frost is coming in
Nice
from
one.
the sides, and you often,
Good, man.
instead of sliding along the ice, you actually trip up on the frost. So it's actually quite dangerous.
A little tighter. 68. We gotta go.
Yep.
She's tighter.
Yep.
68, Julie's
Gotta
referring
go.
to that split time again,
Wait
the
there.
back line to the first hog line. Indication
Go
of where the
through.
rock may end up.
Can we tap off this?
Yep.
No, I was too late. Sorry. Right out. Right out. Right out. Right out. Right out. Right out.
Okay, Di.
Okay.
And again,
Probably got it
Colleen
over.
sweeping that out. I mean, there's no reason to take that out of the house and behind the tee line. You want
I
rocks
like
in
that.
play. And Kelly was actually helping her get it out there, getting rid of her own
like
stone.
Nancy Delahunt has a chance to get behind this corner guard that she threw up herself.
I think they're going to throw one more corner here.
Oh, okay.
See in turn.
It is less.
It's a lot less.
Hard. Very hard.
Now, placement of this other corner guard is important
Hard, guys.
because they don't want to be
Hard, you got it.
letting a double
Hard,
peel
hard,
opportunity
hard, hard,
come into
hard,
play.
hard, hard. A hair going here.
Good sweeping.
Where's
Hard
yeah,
hair.
we should have. I just didn't have it.
Where is it?
It's up
Down
here.
there? Okay.
Now, from the
wrong side.
conversation that's going on, obviously they just have one hair brush. Do most teams come with both the synthetic and hair brushes for each member of the rink?
I wouldn't say for each member of the rink. I know I can speak from my own experience that we used to carry one in the bag just in case.
Yeah.
But like I said, I think every team has their own theory, whether it actually is a different or not.
Yeah, we were never great believers that the hair made a much of a difference. From as long as your heads on your synthetic brooms are fairly clean, fairly new, I think it picks up just as much frost. And,
Feel it in my feet.
you know, it's a debate. There's no real answer to.
But from listening to Colleen, she's convinced that the hair is making a difference.
Definitely, she is concerned with the frost and the hair making the most difference.
I think
on
it's
it.
just
24. Okay. And she will.
They did get a break there. Team Canada knows that corner guard, so Colleen's got her 2 corner guards up now. And time to make the move.
Yeah, line. I think so. Line. Hurry, line. Line's great. Line's fine. Line's lots of room. Lots of room.
Keep it going.
Yeah.
Weight's good
Back
too.
Here. Back here.
We can wait. Okay.
Hard all the way. Hard. Hurry, 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 hurry. Rub, 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 rub. Hard. Good
Perfect.
job, Marianne.
Now, was there a reason for going around the higher corner guard than the one closer to the rings?
I think just a preference of turns. I think we've seen that the out turn does curl well, but Colleen used the red stone to her advantage there and played the rub. Gave her a couple of options. Some a little bit messier in the house in that area.
It's coming.
Clean. Yeah. Yeah.
Good shot.
Okay, George.
2 corner guards are removed. The shooter remains in play.
And it's go time for Nova Scotia. They said they are very patient. They'll wait, and this is their chance. 8th end. Got one in the house. Got a guard coming around it to to lay 2.
Okay, that's going to be
Nice line.
Wow, excuse me.
Rolling hard though. You got room. Whoa, if you can. Oh, lots of room. Lots of room. At the end. It's going to be high.
It's coming.
Okay, go now. Hurry hard. Hurry, hurry, hurry. Hurry. Okay.
It's good weight on that
Double
rock.
territory
It
there.
just wasn't tight enough to the guard.
Like this. Okay. I like normal then.
Once before, a team trailing by 3 has come back to win, and Julie Skinner was the skip of the BC entry in 1991.
Control? Normals, control, whatever.
A 3-point deficit is facing
Normal.
Colleen Jones
Okay.
and her Nova Scotia squad, attempting to come back against Julie Skinner and her Team Canada mates.
This is a big shot for Julie. She can manage to hit this and stay in the forfeit area. Colleen's going to have to make a play on those 2 red stones.
Yep. Yay!
She just skinned the guard.
I think Julie and Kelly have that same idea about the higher the pitch of the scream, the closer it is to the guard.
Regular. Control. Okay.
That's a great shot, a good result, as Mike said, that to stay around and have Colleen Jones have to deal with those rocks.
Actually, she wasn't as close to the guard as I initially thought. Lots of room.
Where? Control. More than
I'm surprised that they're throwing control weight at this stone. Again,
No,
the other option is to throw back 8, back 12 kind of
weight.
weight.
Clear the front sort of first.
Or hit that other one first, maybe.
Okay, good. Good shot. More like down
Like that?
regular.
I like the top
Same
one.
This one?
Yep. Might kick ours over there. What kind of weight? Same. Okay. You guys.
Kelly was thinking about the other stone.
Clean.
Like this call, though. These the stones on the center line are the ones that are going to get you into trouble later in the end. So
Clean.
not always important to hit shot stone.
And what we say, that they control the end.
Sit.
It's nice if they're your color.
Okay.
It's time to see who shot stone, I think.
I believe Team Canada, the Red Rock, has it.
Marianne.
Apparently Marianne has the eyes on the Nova Scotia team. There's always one member of the team that seems to be able to determine this more than other members. It seems to be Marianne Way. She's being called down to decide who has shot stone.
So draw weight is, it's close.
4-3. 4.
Like if it's them, we kind of have to play the hit and roll off of that front one.
I guess it really wouldn't be
close,
sporting
eh?
to get down on your knees with a ruler.
It's illegal.
It is. Yeah, you're not even allowed to use your
think it's
broom as a
red?
measuring device.
No measuring devices are allowed until the end of the
rolls.
end. But that would be funny. It would be good.
Regular? Not a double, just a hit and roll with regular.
Yeah.
Coach Ken Bagnall and 5th player Lane Peters.
Laney, actually.
Laney watching the action.
Close.
Regular to firm.
Close.
Regular. Yep.
Hard.
Yes! Hard!
Hurry!
Hard!
No roll, watch roll.
Stop. Great
Shot.
shot. Marianne.
Nova Scotia now lies 2.
Great shot. And she popped that red one over in front of her shot stone side of the 8-foot as well. So worked out very well for Kim.
Boy, that was, pardon me? We sure needed that one.
Boy, it was almost an incredible pistol.
Well, at least I made a shot.
Kim wanted it to roll directly behind the
Could have been
guard.
so much prettier.
That's located just off the center line. So she was a little bit disappointed, but really, that is a great shot.
But we're 1 and 2.
Yeah.
You guys.
Kelly now is playing a hit on the open stone, and if she does not make the roll here and leaves Nova Scotia shot, it's going to leave Colleen a free come around and possibly chance to lay 2 buried.
Thrown down here in a while.
What are we
We
going to throw?
haven't thrown down here in a while.
Bruce Law
Are you throwing normal?
watching the action from the stands, and these are always anxious moments for the spouses of the participants.
I think it's easier to play than it is to watch someone that you love and care about in this kind of struggle.
Whoa.
Whoa. Kelly gave that a real shove at the end, Mike.
Yep. Whoa.
Yes!
Whoa.
Whoa.
It's dying. Yep, then, yep.
Yes!
Whoa,
Hurry!
Die. Right out. All the way, hurry hard. Jesus, it died out there, eh?
Oh my God.
Good shot.
The frost buildup on the outside of the
Look at
sheet, and that
that.
rock slowed down.
Good shot.
I winged that.
It's
I know.
completely affected by the frost.
It's heavy up there, eh? Good shot.
Now, this because the redstone didn't roll in for shot stone. Colleen's got a great opportunity to draw one into the top 4-foot buried, and with this redstone on the right-hand side being guarding her shot stone now, this is a good chance for 3 possibly in this end, Joan.
It'll be full 8.
Yep. Perhaps that patience that Colleen talked about early will pay off.
5-2 is the score. 3 stones remain to be delivered on this 8th end.
Inch less. I think so.
Line's
Close for line.
Just line.
No, you got line.
Line's great. Line's
We're gonna
fine.
need it. I think we're gonna need it, Marion.
Just leave it for a bit here.
We need
Yeah,
flight.
Marion, hard. Yep, every bit.
Way back,
Till it stops. Till it stops. No more
Lots
than
are in
back
by the
8,
guard.
though. But
Okay.
right here, though.
Well,
Right here back as far as it'll go, because it's curling nice.
whoa.
Good shot. Probably about half
Good
open at
shot.
least.
So much.
Good shot.
Just not getting a lot of
First
movement.
time
No,
that Kelly's
no,
really
not
had to think a
anymore.
little bit.
This is another weight shot for Kelly. Another touch shot that the weight will be crucial.
Okay. Okay.
Hack weight hit.
Yep.
Yep. Hard.
Hurry!
Are they on the guard? Yes.
Hurry!
A chance now for Colleen Jones
Sorry,
to
guys.
tie this game at 5.
We talked about earlier
Colleen, bring your broom. I know.
about Colleen Jones playing with patience. And we wondered so much in this game, especially since the 5th end, why she didn't play more aggressively. One of the factors to determine your strategy is things that have worked all week. I think this strategy has worked for Colleen all week. She's stuck with it and now has a huge opportunity to tie this game in the 8th end.
Again, dictated by misses, though. You know, it's been a very strange week of curling here up here in Sudbury, and
Okay, let's do
this is
this.
a great opportunity for Colleen
4-2.
to really.
Was
this
I
is
about a 4-2 the
in terms
last
of
time, or
momentum
was I
for this
4-2?
game.
You throw that again,
she wants to
Colleen,
win
it'd
this
be
game.
great.
She needs to make this shot.
Conferring with the front end as to the weight she has to throw.
Less.
2 ends remaining. This game
Hard
could
away.
be tied, but immediately she released the stone. She said it's less.
Fully. Hard. Come on.
We're there. Come
We're
on.
there.
We're there.
God. Good heads-up
You're
call
fine.
by
Sure.
the
Great
sweepers.
shot.
Good heads-up call.
Nice job.
Colleen Jones
with the final stone of end number 8, draws for 3, and with 2 ends remaining, this championship is deadlocked at 5.
3 yellow. I'm very sorry. We're so bad at that.
Way to do it.
1998. Alberta's Kathy Borst has last rock in the 10th end. She scores 1, her margin of victory over Ontario's Anne Merklinger. Kathy Borst, with a 12-1 record, wins the Scott in 1998.
We're 2 ends away from determining the name to be engraved on the championship trophy. A big 3 on the 8th end has deadlocked this at 5. Out of the hack, Jones said less. And it was almost a moment of panic for the Nova Scotia women. And then a calm Kim Kelly called them off as Nancy Delahutt was coming out to sweep. And it's a good thing she did call them off because they had more than enough weight.
For sure. Great shot.
Nice shot, Kim.
And a relieved Colleen Jones can smile as she strikes for 3. She's delighted. Coach Ken Bagnall also very happy with the outcome of this 8th end. 2 ends remaining. Team Canada with last rock on end 9. That 3 almost came out of nowhere.
Yep. No.
I know, I'm just sort of cleaning.
It was amazing. Kim made one nice hit and roll, and then Kelly, didn't seem that important at the time, but the fact she didn't get a roll buried there, or roll in for shot rock even, gave Colleen the opportunity, and she took it. And much to her credit, we were admonishing her for not going early enough, but she waited, and when she did get her chance, she took full advantage.
She got 2 misses out of Kelly Law, 2 big misses out of Kelly Law in that end, and it is a very similar game to the 1 versus 2 game that we saw on Friday.
Again, though, I mean, 9th end, she's thrown it in the house, giving Kelly a chance to hit out the end. And I mean, do you hope that the other team hits and stays on their last one, or how are you going to create offense or create some pressure? And Colleen again letting Kelly dictate how the end's going to be played.
Perhaps waiting until the 10th end to throw her center guard and leaving it all to the end. And that may work for her.
There's been so many games stolen too this week. I don't know what the percentages are, but there's been a lot of very, very important games where the last end has been stolen, and Colleen herself stole 10 and 11 to make the playoffs.
That was against Karen Young of Manitoba.
Yep, hard.
No, you're fine. Whoa.
Hard. Hard.
I can't.
Hard.
This is where frost is a factor. It'll slow down the shooter.
Ooh.
Just a corner of the stone, but enough to remove it.
And you can hear them say, the sweepers say, you can't even walk out there. It's very, very frosty. It slows down the rock. It causes it to curl a little sooner than what it normally would.
Well, the temperature today in Sudbury is +3 or 4, and it was raining. So as a result, there is a lot of humidity in the air, and with the capacity crowd inside the Sudbury Arena, controlling the humidity at ice level becomes an even bigger problem.
It's a very warm arena to begin with. Even when the temperature outside was quite cool all week, it was very, very comfortable in here for spectators. And I would say it's close to 70 degrees at ice level.
Keep it up. Keep it up here.
Mike, you suggested that it might be about 70 degrees.
Well, I think that's actually the actual ice temperature is 25.8 Fahrenheit. But very rarely do you see curlers right from the very beginning of the game in their short sleeves. So the air temperature itself is very, very warm, and the humidity is really what's killing the ice. It's everything just condenses onto the cold ice surface.
Good one, 4.5. Like the one in front. Yeah.
Kelly Law is calling for the freeze on the only rock in the house.
What do we got?
Trying to create some offense and a chance to get 2 points.
Just T-line.
It's 61. We got lots.
Oh, we got tons of room. Oh, whoa line. Let it move.
Not bad. Got to go a bit now.
Whoa. Just for
We're there still.
Whoa, then. Tons of line.
Great shot, George.
We go, George.
Good shot.
That's a very good shot. Especially with the frost that's over on the side, it's hard to judge the weight on the rock or when it might die.
That's very scary, throwing a freeze out in the wings here in the ninth end, and you know, in very frosty conditions. Colleen's following her right down though. She's not even comfortable hitting out there, so.
No more.
Room. Wait only. Hey. Gotta
Got
go.
room.
Got line. Lots of line.
Gotta go.
Lots of line.
Gotta go.
Hard then. Hurry. Nice line. Quick. Hurry hard. Hard away. Hard. That's a pistol.
Great shot.
What great sweeping by Kim Kelly and Nancy Delahunt to get that rock in a perfect spot.
Boy, I got.
Those sweepers make the shooter look so good.
Great shooting, Marianne.
Right, Mike?
That's right.
Spoken
I have to say
like a
that because
true
you're sitting so close to me. What else can I say?
Yeah.
No, that was great sweeping, and as Colleen kept calling out the line call, you know, Kim never lifted her head. She goes, "We got to go, we got to go, we got to go," and that's just great judgment by the front end. Kim's actually playing. She's sweeping more rocks, been playing third, but you know, she's done a great job all game. Great communicator.
Well, she really has to sweep because Nancy Delahunt holds the brush for Colleen.
Yeah. Whoa, whoa.
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 It's about the same as the last one.
No
line.
line.
No line.
Nothing.
Weight's good. It's tap.
Yep.
It's tap.
Tap over top. No.
Shot, George.
Okay.
The other one's lined up on the back.
Big. Throw it firm, Kim. Okay.
Kim Kelly wants to hit and stick.
Yep.
Make sure
Whoa.
that they keep the pressure on Team Canada.
Curl a little, curl a little, curl a little, curl a little. Which won't be much. Hard on the rope. Hard.
Now things aren't rolling very much, not when the ice is frosty in the house.
Well, a reference was made earlier to the rings being dead.
That was a good shot,
This is
though.
good.
I mean, she just needed to make sure she stayed there. That yellow stone that's frozen on the red it's a couple shots away from being removed. So as long as Colleen can exchange
other one's
stones here,
lined
she
up on
can
the back
force
one.
Kelly to take her one, and down one coming on with the hammer in the final. You got to be pretty happy.
I think control's good.
Okay. Okay.
I think Colleen Jones is into this game, Mike.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes. Yep. Hurry. Hurry.
Nice shot.
Okay, Julie.
Just rolled a little too far.
Not bad though, hanging around second, third, couple of red ones in the rings.
There's a double there though, Mike, for Colleen Jones if that's what she
Darn,
chose,
pretty
but
much.
she's going to go and split the
You're
house.
pretty good. It curled too much. It went crazy.
Like a 60 split? 60 split would be fine. Okay.
We're blankets.
Your opinion on this call?
I love it. I think it's a great call. Again, that stone still cannot be removed by Kelly Law and her team. So, you know, by Colleen splitting the rings, she's going to
Make
force
sure, guys.
play away from the
Have a look.
corner.
Gotta be T. Above the T. Whoa. Right in.
Okay.
Not high. Great weight, Kim.
Colleen's calling a great night, Lender. She's playing very, very well. Girls are making all the shots. I think they got a real boost of confidence that last end. And you can feel a little momentum change.
Well, they're making, Colleen Jones's team is making very exact shots.
Hey, guys.
Heading into the eighth, Team Canada very much in control. And then almost out of nowhere, a big three for Colleen Jones. And
Clean. Whoa.
it's a 5-5 game playing this ninth end.
Clean. It's good.
Big go, Julie. Nice shot.
Julie Skinner flirting with 90% as a shooting percentage in this championship game.
So
Colleen never in a rush to make her way to the throwing end.
And to her credit, there's a lot of time remaining on the clock. She doesn't need to rush home.
See.
Do you think it's too much?
I would say it's verging on too much.
Okay. Inch less, Nance.
Okay.
Yeah, that's good.
And it was Marianne Way who offered the opinion that perhaps it was a touch too much ice.
Clean. Clean. Whoa. Whoa. Whoa.
Like stay.
Whoa.
Hang on, Hunter.
Come on, baby.
Hang on, Hunter.
Good shot. Girl.
Nova Scotia lies too.
Good job.
Good for the inch less there.
Yes.
Holy moly.
Just see, you know what? It's just not
turning the way.
No, I know it's not. It's definitely straighter.
Again, the second comes through with the proper advice.
Certainly. Would you expect any less? Such a bias I have.
Okay, guys.
It's always an interesting scenario in the ninth end, Mike, whether to take one and be one up coming home without, whether to give up one and be one down with.
I'm not sure what I prefer. A lot of times it just depends on the score of the game. If it's a very high-scoring game, I know I'd rather be the one with the hammer. But in a game like this, there hasn't been a lot of big ends. I mean, save that 3 in the 8th end, and you know, up one
Shot, Kelly.
without last rock. It's not a bad situation. I would say.
Nice throw.
But Colleen's really only played aggressively one end, and that was the 8th, and that's when they did score the big end. So
Yeah.
I don't see Kelly giving away the point though either.
Got a stick.
Yeah. Well.
If Colleen Jones can hit and stay, she will force Kelly Law to take one on the 9th.
Or make a decision about taking one.
Whoa. Whoa. Never.
Clean?
Never, 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 never. Not even clean.
Kim?
Yes?
Take this one.
Yeah.
It's fine. Actually, it's fine. Okay.
That might change things.
Kelly's going to have a close look at these over on the right-hand side of the sheet and see if there might be something there for 2.
Might be hard to get that yellow
I'm
guy
not convinced there is,
hey?
but see how it looks.
Is it worth the chance though? It is, because she can't get to the inside of it. I don't think it will.
Go to the washroom.
Okay.
So
You know what? It's there.
Yeah, we might as well.
Well, I think we have to play it,
because if we give it one, it's not the end of the world, right? One down with.
It's hard.
It's hard because this rock's here, right?
Yeah.
If this rock wasn't here, it's not so hard.
My damn rock.
Well, what do you want to be? One up without? It's hard because of this one.
I don't know if I can make that shot.
You would have to throw it 100 miles an hour with the way the house is. I think if this one wasn't here, it's makeable.
So lined up on the back.
It's not the end of the world.
I don't think it's there.
This, we need a lot of, the key to it is weight.
Yeah,
you can almost nose it, and we can get it that way, it's going. It's weight.
If it's a house, it might, normal house.
Well, this isn't bad through the back here. It's the side that I'm worried about.
Yeah.
So it just depends. It's a bit of a chance.
Yeah.
If we try it, we can get 3.
We get
3 maybe.
Well, no, I think we'd lose our shooter.
Oh, we lose this one.
Yeah.
you want to call a timeout?
I don't think we have to lose our shooter, because if we just get it right here.
Well, we got to make sure that one gets out. That's the key feature in this.
So you just have to over curl it just a bit.
And you know what? If we don't make it, it's not the end of the world.
No, because I don't mind being one down with, or we get 3. But you have to fire it. You have to give it all you got.
Yeah, it's pretty quick.
Just give it a try.
What'd you say? Give it a try.
Well, I gotta go home and do something.
All right. Well,
yeah,
Kelly,
like, is it makeable?
Even if you nose it, we can roll in for one that way, right? If it ends up being a nose. But we have to throw enough weight that we can get it out. It's tough.
It is tough.
If we can get it coming into the rock, though, it's there. I think it's there.
What are you talking about, the intern?
Yeah, we should throw the, we can't throw the out turn. We can't throw the out turn because it'll stick too much. We need to throw the in turn.
I think you gotta throw, you do, eh?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't think it's there then. I don't think it's there.
But you want to throw the out turn? Or you just have to just miss ours. You throw the out turn. But it is with tons of weight. Like tons, because
I gotta move it across the whole house.
Yeah.
What do you like, Kel?
Well, if you like it with the out turn, play it with the out turn.
We have to play it with the in turn.
One of the advantages of playing quickly early, you have some time for a decision like this.
I think Kelly has a valid concern. I don't think it is there with the intern.
I don't think it's there for 3 either.
I think it's there, Kelly.
Yeah.
2 maybe.
Yep. But it's your shot.
They're talking about bringing their red stone in, trying to hit it on the nose and spring the yellow stone all the way across the house and out. And if we remember
it's not frozen. You got 3 inches
what happened last end, Kelly trying to throw in a hit way on the wings, and she fired that and just got the stone out the back of the wings. I don't know that she can throw it hard enough to make it. The only way she's going to get 3 as well is to knock this red stone back onto here, and I'm not sure that's going to happen either. So, 2 maybe there, but 3 is next to impossible.
I mean,
There's just not enough room in between the yellow shot stone and the red second shot stone.
I know.
These two right there.
But I'm telling you, you have to wheel it down there. That's the one thing.
I think they should just think back onto that shot with the frost in the last end and how hard Kelly threw that and how she just barely got it out of the rings.
Coach Elaine Dag-Jackson coming out. They've called a timeout with 12:30 remaining on the clock.
We're not sure if it's there yet. I think it is, but you gotta wait it.
But what do we?
Ice conditions are playing a huge factor right now.
What you have to think about here is what you want to be coming home with, because you are taking a risk if you play this shot.
Right.
You get 2, it's great, but you're taking a risk of giving up 1 if it doesn't work out.
Yeah.
And so are you okay with that? Do you want to be 1 up or 1 down?
Yeah, exactly.
1 down with?
What do you feel most comfortable
1 up without.
I don't think that shot's there.
Okay. Then you're not playing it.
Then let's not play it.
But then what do you want to be?
When we come home, what do you want to be? Would you rather be 1 up or 1 down?
Well, if we're 1 up, we got to try to steal. Safe steal.
And you're not going to give up a point because you want to be 1 down, right?
No. Right.
You want to try to get the
Yeah,
point.
I think so. I think we need to.
You don't want to toss a point, do you?
No.
Okay, so how are we going to do it?
Drop?
Well, or we can try this.
It's up to you, but.
Well, do you guys want to take a point or no?
Like, doesn't matter.
Yeah, what you want, I want you to do what you want to do.
Okay.
Kel, you call the shot.
Okay.
Yep.
Yep.
Seriously. Do you think it's there?
Yep.
With the intern?
Yep. Mine moved real good down here, but you need some weight. Do you like it?
She's chosen.
I thought I had to throw the outturn at it, but I guess
it's
can't.
too hard with
Actually,
frost.
right?
No,
I'll clear
we got to
that.
come into it.
She's chosen the intern, try to come across the face, hit this as thin as possible,
that's
and
even.
try to draw that red one right out of the house.
This isn't the turn to be throwing the shot with, in my opinion. And
that's what Kelly thought too. Kelly thought that it was only makeable.
Okay, we'll give it a try, guys.
with the out.
With the out turn. Now the other thing I want you to watch when Kelly throws this rock is that usually to generate a lot of wait for her rocks, Kelly will bend her arm and push the rock. Now that will, you know, affect the range of error on hitting the broom. She needs a lot of weight to make this. So let's see how she releases it.
Okay.
The final stone of end number 9. The decision has finally been made on what they're going to attempt. Was the danger. They had to roll the Yellowstone too far to take it out of the rings.
Had to curl a little more.
A little bit more, yeah.
The house is too dead.
So it's a steal of 1 for Colleen Jones on the 9th, but
about 2 inches.
Kelly Law will have last rock advantage, playing the 10th, trailing by a single point.
Oh, too bad, guys.
If the house was faster, it might be house was fast.
Well, it did leave that pile.
Back for a 7th season, the Ford Hot Shots, the skill testing competition, rewarding the sharpest shooter in the land with a 2001 Ford Taurus SE. Here's how they play. Each player delivers 6 basic curling shots from a hit and stick to a hit and roll, each one worth a maximum of 5 points. Team Canada's Kelly Law, last year's winner, was back for more in Sudbury. The BC skip, here looking to raise it to the 4-foot. And she does it again. The Ford Hot Shot for the 2nd year in a row. PEI skip Shelley Bradley 3rd. Team Canada 2nd, Georgina Wheatcroft the runner-up. They fought the Law and the Law won. Kelly Law back in the driver's seat, winning her 2nd Ford Taurus SE in as many years.
Kelly Law needs 2 with last rock on the 10th end if she is going to defend her championship. She attempted to get 2 on the 9th with a very difficult takeout, but the Yellowstone coming off the red would not roll far enough to go out of play.
You know, she almost hit that perfect, and it really was not close to getting out of the house. You know, you said that rock had to go another 3 or 4 feet, and she threw it about as hard as she could. She's been very accurate with that high weight, though, all week. She throws that amazingly well.
But she'd also pushed the red stone back onto the Yellowstone, so had the rock they were throwing at rolled out of the rings, they were going to get 3.
And I think the outturn might have got a little more action on the Yellowstone, but then you're throwing it out in the frost, and you know, it was just a tough shot in these ice conditions.
And I think it all comes down to what their coach said. Do you want to be 1 up without last rock? Do you want to be 1 down with last rock? And when she said you're not going to throw away the point, I know lots of teams that do talk about that and do throw away that point because they are more comfortable coming home trying to generate 2 points. So that was a discussion that had to take place.
The house, you could be going 80 and
the risk was good. I mean, it was 3. Could have got 3 points. I mean, but it was again the risk was very, very high. Though.
Hard, right up. There, it's there. Okay.
I just don't
nice shot.
And that is a perfect placement of the first stone. You want it to be in the 4-foot, in front of the tee line, close to the center line.
We're not bad.
Team Canada looking for the corner guard. Going to be playing aggressively to try to get 2 points.
Nice shot, Ty.
Now, if you're Colleen Jones, how do you play this in?
Turn again. Just lost my leg.
Well, she has to decide if she wants to play a guard or she wants to bring this into the top 8 and then start peeling. Knowing Colleen, I think she'll come into the rings and wait for Kelly, force Kelly to make the shots rather than throw up some more guards to help her out.
Line's good. Halfway to tight. Line's good. Halfway to tight.
She's throwing up the guard. I thought she was coming in right on top of that rock.
Line's great.
I don't think we can hurt it.
Yep. It's halfway to tight.
Get it halfway.
Yep. Whoa.
And the game is on. There's going to be a few rocks in play this end.
Good shot, Nance.
Hey, Dad.
Sure. Go.
Very important for Diane to stay on this. She rolls out here. Colleen can peel that corner guard and run out the end and take the hammer into the extra end.
Stay by meaning a hit and roll for a corner guard, not stay right on the center line necessarily.
Right up. Right up. Right over, right over, right over, right over. Good shot, Di.
And that's exactly what she's done. Game on, because Nova Scotia is going for the steal for the win.
Guard for your life in this situation.
The decision that Colleen Jones needed to make, as you said, Dawn, very early, was are we going to try to play for an extra end, or are we going to try to go for the win?
Get it. Same as Nancy's. Yeah, I'll just clean it. Line's fine. Let it work.
Kim Kelly has really been an excellent judge of weight this afternoon.
Yeah, now.
Well, Kim Kelly played second for many years before she moved up to play third for Colleen Jones in 1999.
Whoa. Nice shot. Good one. What am I looking for? 68.
That stone being a little closer to the rings, there's also a chance, I guess, that she could drive it right back onto the rock in the house.
Clean.
There is.
Whoa.
I'm not sure Kelly was going to risk it and risk jamming it, but at some point they're going to have to
take a chance.
Take a chance, yeah.
Oh my.
And that is a very big miss for Georgina. She needed to remove that guard to peel away.
Didn't move.
And you can see how close this was to all three rocks. Key to Team Canada at this point is to stay very focused and calm and generate their chance.
Just to center. Get it to center. Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Nova
Good rock, those
Scotia
red guys. Good rock.
feeling pretty good. Putting on a second guard.
There's going to come to a time where Kelly's going to have to just make sure she scores one rather than two. There's.
You can get them both.
Yeah.
Looking for the double peel.
Yep. Yep. Whoa. 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 Girl. Shot.
That's a good shot for Georgina. She needed to sit down and try to forget that she just threw the last one and it didn't curl up. But they've seen that shot twice now for Georgina that they thought she threw pretty good and it didn't come up.
We look ahead later in the end too. There's no draw for Kelly here. She's got no out. So this stone that's at the top of the button that Nancy threw is proving to be very troublesome. And the main reason is the red guards are not far enough off the center line. So Kelly's own guards are maybe going to come back to bite her later in the end if she doesn't make a double peel here somewhere.
Whoa, it's fine. Good.
This Nova Scotia squad has done an excellent job of playing the guard stones.
It's nice throwing the fourth guard on your rock at the top of the button, Don. It's you know, a very, very comfortable spot for Colleen.
Although Kim, I wanted it a little higher than that.
Kim doesn't look that comfortable.
So quite a bit of distance? Okay.
I think Nova Scotia can taste it. You got a chance here.
That's bad. Okay. I like the out turn. Might get it early on either side and we get them both, right?
Yeah.
Want to try this way?
Yep. The out turn you get them maybe.
The out turn I might get the back one.
Yeah.
Are these rocks lined up at all to get all three? Or to remove
to get the one off the top of the button anyway. They're not going to remove the guards, but I think Kelly right now would take removing that one off the top of the 4-foot for sure.
I think a double peel would look pretty good right now as well. Getting rid of 2 yellow stones and getting a chance maybe that the next guard wasn't placed perfectly. You want to get rid of 2 here.
Close. Yes! Hurry! Hard! Die!
The 2 guards are removed, but the red stone remains out in front as a corner guard. The one just delivered by Julie Skinner.
Looks a little better.
Nice shot.
Except those are overlapped over there, aren't they, a bit?
That's exactly the problem, that they're overlapped a little bit.
Whoa! Oh, a little further out. Same. A little further out. Where am I?
Wait. Good then. All right, you're fine for line.
Well, line's great. Just clean. No.
Okay.
No. No, no.
Whoa, when it's over.
Wow.
Nice shot, Kenny.
Great shot.
Marianne.
It's 5 perfect guards for Nova Scotia.
Kelly's got to try to double these, the 2 red off on the right side as well as that
Almost
center
on
line
the
stone.
nose.
They might be able
Like
to
the other
get the ball.
turn. Maybe.
She's only just peeling the yellow one though. I'm
Are
surprised.
they even, the guards?
No, that one's higher.
One's ahead.
Then I probably need to play the intern here. Right?
Yep.
Just off nose on George's side. Okay.
They're playing the straight back. Again, risky. You're going to leave your shooter if you don't make it, so it's very, very risky.
Yep. Hurry!
Whoa! 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 George, roll it! Roll it!
Okay.
Same strategy for Colleen Jones. Play the guard.
And Colleen knows. I mean,
Sits
she
up there a
makes
bit,
this
eh?
one guard. She's going to have a chance to win it on her last one.
Yes.
Kelly has no way into the forefoot right now.
I did, like a clean, pure
And
foul.
as Kelly said, I may have to play a raise, try to raise it back.
Georgina and Kelly are talking right now about whether that is something they should do next. If the guard is made, should they be looking at the raise back on one of their own red guards?
I'm gonna have to try a raise or something.
On this one here.
I was thinking on the 1 rock.
Why wouldn't you do
rack
this
is-
one so you at least open up a path
Yeah.
for yourself, right?
Yeah. That's true.
But before that decision is made,
think
it will
so.
depend on what happens to the Jones rock. 4 stones remaining on this 10th end. Nova Scotia leading by 1.
It's a tremendously exciting finish for this Canadian Championship.
Nice throw.
Line's great.
Guard.
So way out.
Just split
Center
center
way
line.
out.
Okay, we can go now.
Line's fine now.
Oh, just clean.
Line's fine.
Yeah, because it
Just
really,
clean.
really curls at the end.
Yep.
Just
Whoa,
clean.
whoa.
Clean only.
Whoa.
Gonna be a little long.
It's perfect.
Great
Okay.
shot.
Nice shot, Colleen.
Decision time
Nice
now
shot.
for Kelly Law.
Great shot.
What about that one?
What about this? If we get that one thin,
Play the run back now.
might bump a couple in.
And 5 might go in, hey?
Yep. And that one might go in too. If we can get it thin. The run back's impossible now. Either we play a run back on this, but if we don't make it, I guess we'll have another one over there.
You're thinking open it. Let's try to get it open. Anyway,
Yeah, the
we
draw's
can,
going to be
eh?
tough though too, right?
I know.
That's not bad there either, that one.
The 1?
5.
No, because
This
it's
one's
cornered
easier.
on the 1.
Yeah. The 2.
For those who may not be familiar, the numbers
that
they're
I try to
referring
peel
to
this
are the
thin?
numbers on the stones.
Yeah,
Kelly
we could
just
try
trying
that.
to find
It
a way to
opens up
spill
this whole
something into
side.
the rings.
Gets the whole thing open, and we might bump something in with some weight. We might be able to get that one. We might be able to clear a lot of rocks out of here. If we hit this real thin.
Well, we were just thinking if we hit this a bit early.
Well, it might just go bonk.
And then, but this one might come in.
That's not bad either.
And then I might have a raise.
That's
for
probably
2.
easier, just a bit early. That way, and then that one's going to come over to here.
Yeah,
Right?
but where's the 7? Where am I hitting this 7?
Just off nose. Well, 3/4,
I'd
I
rather
guess.
try this.
I think we should try to open it up, really.
Well, if we don't open it
Yeah.
on the first one, I might not have a shot. We might be able to get one in where she might have to hit.
That one's coming in, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, it might come in.
Right?
Be great if
Yeah.
we could get that one in.
Where's this going to go, though?
We want that one to come right over to here.
Georgina's talking about
3/4.
Okay.
using that one as well.
Riding a bit here, eh?
Little. Mine won't as much.
They've talked about a lot of options, and they are going to go with the one that I drew out where she hit the top Yellowstone and hoping to spill a whole bunch of rocks and open up a whole side as well. Georgina talked about raising the other red guard as well, this one, and trying to go into here. And if she did that and they missed that, they'd also clear open a path to the 4-foot perhaps for Kelly on her last stone.
I think the shot they're playing is going to open up more for Kelly on her last one.
Whoa.
Yep.
Yep. Yep.
Whoa.
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 Whoa. Whoa, 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 whoa. Get that one in, George. Get it in.
Yeah.
Get it in. Get it in. Get it in. Right in. Right in. Right in. Right in. Good shot. Great shot.
Kelly Law with her first stone of this 10th end moves some granite around out front, but shot stone still belongs to Colleen Jones. And she's going to try and play a guard again. And there could be a couple of options then, Mike. If she guards it, they could play off their own stone, couldn't they?
And Colleen, I don't even know if she's looked at it, but this stone, these guards here are lined up, and that's going to send that red stone right back onto that one in the 4-foot. She hasn't even seen it, I don't think. So she's got to make sure that this guard gets overlapped. She doesn't want to leave the guard over here where the run back is there. It's actually not a very difficult shot at all, Joan.
That's a little too much more. Just a little less. Little less. You're right. You're right,
two
Marion.
center's
Good point.
fine.
Good point. But just so straight there.
Yep.
It's the same weight.
This is the time of the game where the chewing gum really gets a workout.
I'm not sure that red's raise is there, but geez, it looks pretty good from
Mine's nice.
on the screen.
Clean
Colleen
only.
hasn't even looked at it.
Where are you?
Get it to center.
I'm not sure.
It's
I'm
to
not sure if they are
center.
lined
Where
up
are you?
you know,
We're short.
correctly. There is some room
It's
in
good,
between.
actually. This is perfect right here.
No. Yep.
Yep. Yep. It's not gonna go there.
Okay. Okay. Whoa. Whoa.
Just leave it. Leave
Like to
it.
get it behind it.
Whoa, 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 whoa,
Sweep it.
whoa. Oh, that is so pretty.
I think she's covered it.
Good shot, Skipper. Good shot. Great shot.
Okay.
Boys, oh boys, Colleen, you blocked that little bump back because they were lined up there.
Okay, be prepared for the extra,
Yellow
though,
one,
guys.
Red was lined up for the one on the button. Nice shot.
Be prepared for the extra. Okay?
Yeah.
Well, Mike, Nancy Delahunt confirmed what you suggested.
What can she get?
It's just the yellow's in the way.
Not really.
I don't think the yellow is in the way. And if Nancy was looking at that, they should have brought it in a little bit more.
And she should have told her skip before she went down in the hack. You know, I think Colleen probably wasn't even aware that it was there.
Damn close.
I like it. I mean, I like the shot.
On the nose.
If they hit it on the nose, they're probably going to peel the one off the button. If they throw it quiet enough, they might even be able to stay for two.
On the nose.
I think on the nose is perfect.
But
I think it's there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Nose.
She may not have much alternative but to try and play this shot.
It's either that or draw the button, and you know this is only a line shot. It's not a weight shot at all. So.
Do you think? I think the nose.
Well, you can almost, you almost a hair this side, now you might squeak it by the guard.
Yeah, but you
close.
don't need to.
We're thinking this is easier than the draw.
And there's the shot
the
from
nose.
directly behind the hack.
Like what kind of weight do we want, though?
And I think it's
Okay.
there, Mike. I don't think that guard's covering up the shot.
Might have covered it enough to where she can't stay. You know, I think it's
This is here, I think.
probably just to peel it out, but.
What kind of weight do we want? Control?
Control.
Maybe throw normal, because we got to get that thing out.
Normal, yeah.
We need to throw normal.
Yeah.
But Kelly,
But
is it
not
almost?
up. Like
Just
for
normal.
control.
I think you can just squeak it by the guard if we just hit it a hair early on this the center line side.
Just.
Nose.
Nose, make sure it's gone. Nose
Well,
is good.
even a hair on the. No, we need nose.
Yeah.
Or a hair this side, Kelly. Hair
Nose
center line side.
might go that way anyways.
Yeah. Actually,
Right?
will.
Yeah.
The way to handle this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, we need a nose here.
So what turn then?
Out
There.
turn straighter.
It's going to say straight. Because
Don't you
if
think?
anything, we can afford to hit it a hair that side.
I've
Where
got
I-
that.
Hair that side. What about right there? Normal.
Okay.
Right on the nose.
Talking about hitting it on the nose, driving the red stone directly onto shot stone. This guard is the factor. Want to make sure that they don't hit it on the high side too much. to rub on that guard.
Okay, guys.
All Colleen Jones can do now is watch. She has done her job on this 10th end. The drama unfolding here at the Sudbury Arena. Kelly Law with the final stone. Will she successfully defend the championship she won last year in Prince George?
You can stand up if you want.
And you can see Kim Kelly can't watch this. This is an emotional time.
Clean, yeah! Wow! Yes!
Can they push it past the Yellowstone? There's the contact. There's the rock coming back. And we're going to an extra end.
Oh my gosh!
For the first time since 1998, when Kathy Borst beat Ann Merklinger on an extra end, this game is going to an extra end. All tied at 6, going to 11.
I know, that's huge. Super huge. Let's do to them what we did in the last time.
The defending champion comes through with a great shot on the final stone of the 10th end to pick up a point and send this game into an extra end. But for a moment, there was the possibility that this raise, the double raise back onto the shot stone, might result in 2. But the Red Rock just rolled out of the rings, and in the stands, there was hope for a moment that maybe they were going to get 2, and then the disappointment when they saw the Red Rock roll out.
Oh gosh. Nonetheless, an incredible shot that got them out of the end and into this extra end.
But Mike, you suggested that double raise takeout was there, and
well, Nancy saw it as well, but didn't mention it to Colleen. I don't know why they didn't sweep that guard or have Colleen say, "Hey, wait a minute here. Let's have a look at this," because that was, if that guard's another 3-4 inches higher, a foot higher even, they could hit that a little higher, change the angle of it, and definitely get 2. As it was, I mean, it was very difficult to score 2 on that shot, but I mean, it was, as we saw, it wasn't that hard to get their single.
Well, we'll push it
and
that
conversely,
way,
they should have been sweeping the guard of Colleen's even further to take it in.
But they never discussed it beforehand.
We're gonna push the red one this way, right?
10th end of the Canadian Championship. You have to see those things, or stop your skipper.
Okay, hack weight.
Right on.
They're looking for the famous tick shot, where you cannot remove this rock from the free guard zone, but you're going to try to come across the face, tick it so it goes as far or as close to the boards as it can without touching.
We just have back line-ish. Back line.
Wow.
Whoa.
Roll it hard, roll it hard, roll it hard.
Whoa, roll that yellow one, Marianne. That's good.
It's a great shot.
That's a really good shot.
That's a good shot. Better than that other guy. I mean, he was covering more of the forefoot.
It does still leave a guard, but as Kim has pointed out, it's a little bit off the center line.
Same weight, Di.
The free guard zone nowadays, as a skip, you're just so used to having to draw the forefoot on the last one. So if you can leave yourself a shot, you know, quite often it's not going to be easy, but at least if you have that draw to the forefoot, you should be happy.
84. No, it's less than the last one, Di. It's okay.
Gotta come back.
It's gliding. Weight's
fine.
Roll, guys.
It's gliding a bit.
Weight's good.
Tight.
Right off.
It's a little further out. Leave it right there. That's fine. Whoa.
Frost
Nice
lines are
shot,
going to come
Di.
into play
Nice
too, Jonas.
shot.
Colleen's going to have a draw against a couple points here. She's going to have to watch what ice she's taking.
Okay. Just in case you get lucky back there.
Okay.
What do you think?
Did she say, do you want to stay?
Hit and roll?
Okay. Out turn? Okay.
Yeah.
No.
No.
God, I'm in the
No.
frost. Uh-oh. It's looking like a noser, eh?
It is. Anything you got on the roll?
That was just a tough way to
No roll.
Ooh. Okay. Interesting. It's the only thing about playing the roll.
Kelly Law attempting to steal, asking Georgina Wheatcroft to play the in-turn draw in behind the rock closest to the rings.
The Nova Scotia guard is very tight to the house. It makes it a little trickier for Georgina to get in.
Yep, for line. Tons of room. Line's good. We're on the front.
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
We're on the front.
Ah! It's quite short now. It's dying.
Okay, all right. Yep.
Fine, George.
Okay, good shot.
Good shot, George.
Shot.
Split on that.
More guards the merrier for
Holy.
Kelly at this stage.
It's heavy out there.
Right there, Marianne.
might
Try
get
to catch that on the way by. Little action here would be nice.
What are we doing? Playing the red.
Smashing them up. Should be pretty straight.
Marianne Way can do some damage here. She can move some stones around.
Whenever you group guards like that, you risk the chance of leaving double peels.
Triple even is
Yeah.
possible again.
Close. The thing is, we may smash the yellow in. We want to go over top, right? Over top the yellow.
Watch this one, Kim. Watch that.
Great shot.
How good is that?
Wow.
Pistol. Hell of a shot. That is a pistol. Woo! Pistol.
Great shot by Marianne Way.
Great shot. That's a good shot, Andrew.
I recall somebody making a similar type of shot, moving a lot of guards around at the Olympics.
I recall that certain somebody kind of missed her first shot to set herself up to look good on her second
Play
shot.
the other turn.
That was a huge shot by Marianne Way, and now Nova Scotia should be very comfortable. They have shot rock. They can just continue to peel off center guards, and you know, Colleen's, you know, barring any mistakes, they're just going to have a relatively simple shot to win. But there has been a few mistakes thus far in this game, so you never know what's going
Shot,
to happen.
George.
Good.
Nice shot.
Nova Scotia needs to continue making these peels. Sometimes when you make a big shot like that, and if there's only one you're looking at now, you let up your concentration or your focus a little bit. You can't let that happen.
Yep. Hard. Real hard. Hurry, 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 hurry.
Anything,
hurry.
Kim. Anything. Right over. Oh. Okay.
They didn't want a nose hit.
Story of the week, story of the game thus far, and this is a good opportunity for Kelly Law.
Think so.
Problem they've got now is this in-turn. They're going to have to get it wide,
Before, eh, guys?
maybe out in the frost line. See, they're taking ice out into the 8-foot, and it's really creeping in now.
Lots of room. Close for line. Room. Tons of room.
We gotta go for weight.
Line's fine.
Okay. Lots of room.
Stay with it. Yep. For weight. Yeah.
Hurry! Come on, guys. Hurry!
Great sweeping. Good shot for Julie Skinner.
I got the wrong broom. Okay.
Very timely shot for Julie.
Regular guys.
But it is accessible with the in-turn.
Right up. Hurry. Hard. Hurry quick. Hard. Hard. Whoa. Hard. Watch the back one.
Whoa.
Well thrown.
But she drives it back onto her own, and Team Canada has shot rock.
It's okay though. It's behind the tee line. Not to worry. You know, as Colleen, you know, you're gonna have to draw the 4-foot at some point. So keep the stones behind the tee line. It's very important now for Kelly Law when you're trying to steal. Doesn't matter that you get the stone buried. You just have to get it into the 4-foot in front of the tee line. Make Nova Scotia make a play at it. Don't give them a chance to peel off that center guard.
So basically, this is the same shot for Julie Skinner.
Yes.
Trying to go a little tighter to the guard.
Not curling.
And even that isn't all that important. You have to be in the 4-foot to force Colleen to make a play at it.
Hurry!
Hurry! All right, guys. Hurry!
This is wider.
Right up. Keep it going. Hurry. That's good. Okay.
I would say that's a bit of a break for Colleen.
It was way out there.
Peel, Colleen.
That doesn't do anything for us.
Because that guy back there, we can come to him.
It's peel or draw right now.
And Colleen wants to talk about it, but I agree with her team. I think that the trouble stone is the guard.
Do you want to come right in?
I do. Okay. Doesn't do
I'll do
anything for us though, Colleen.
Coming right
You know,
in?
and they've got this side blocked as well, so I would say peel or draw.
Well, that's what she's thinking. Come right in. Now.
But I mean, the peel, we're still very much in control. That's
Okay.
back 8. I mean, you know,
Okay.
you'd take
Peel on the
it
interim
normally.
side?
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, you're right. I would. You're
It's a good
right,
call by
Nancy.
Nancy.
It is.
Again. We were going to come right in. but
You're right, again.
There are a lot of rocks to come, so.
Well,
As you pointed out, that's the trouble stone, the yellow rock sitting on the center line.
Whoa. Clean only. Clean only. Clean only.
What was that doing?
oh, shoot.
My question would be why they were cleaning
Here,
when they
Marianne.
hadn't had the rock yet.
Shit. I tell you, I threw it at the darn broom again. A little bit more, I think edge of 4, Kelly. Okay. It's about a 4 down here.
Kelly Law now with an opportunity to put a stone in the top of the 4.
It's a big jump shot, another chance for Team Canada.
Hey, guys.
Okay, Kelly.
How's that ice look?
And just not wide open is what Kelly's thinking here. If it's going to hang, leave it short. Give yourself another guard, but don't leave it wide open in the top 4 foot and leave Colleen a double.
How's the ice look, guys?
You know it. I think that looks good.
It'll hang on the line, right? Okay.
Skip stones on this extra end, the first out of the hand of Kelly Law.
Line's good. Yes for line.
Yeah, for line.
She didn't quite get out to the broom.
Line.
Hard line.
Hurry for line.
She might be all over the guard.
Whoa.
Okay, good shot.
Why can't we just get by?
Kelly, I think, was a little bit light. You also, I think, she was a little bit tight.
Sorry, Julie. It's okay. I must have been tight. They didn't hear me yelling, whoa.
Ooh, this is.
No, it's not that big. 14.3, your weight was perfect. Yeah. It's not that big of a hole, Kelly.
Colleen's made a very interesting call here. She's looking at hitting the stone at the back.
Yeah, it is.
What are you thinking if you...
She's talking about bringing her yellow stone through this port onto the one at the back of the button. It'd be the back of the 4 foot. It'd be a great shot if she made it, but I'm not sure that it's there. Doubling off the guards would be a good option, though.
Might be better on the inside front one, Colleen. What? I'm thinking this front, the center line front.
What are you talking about?
Nothing. Not a thing.
Danger would be hitting her center line one first and leaving the guard right on that one on the back 8. I think missing on the one that Kelly just threw would be the better of the 2 options, but
there isn't a lot of room between those 2 stones.
Out-turn hit. This is Colleen's favorite.
Whoa. Slippy. Yep. Hard.
She slipped coming out of the hack.
Real hard. Hurry.
It's looking good. It's through the hole. Oh, no. It looked as though it was going to get through the hole. She just rubbed the red stone.
And worst case, she left both of those center line guards up there.
Oh, what did you hit? What? I hit the red.
It looked initially as though all the concern was getting past the yellow rock, not the red.
I thought she was through.
One good thing, though, she did clear the other guard out that was on the left side of the center line.
I thought she was through.
Oh. I think Colleen thought she was through, too.
Ooh, we're going to leave her not a very nice situation, are we?
Yeah, we're trying to go around the yellow, so don't even worry about the corner.
I think edge of 4 again, Kelly. That's where you have.
I was a bit tight, though.
Yeah.
Well, we don't
Right
want
there.
much more,
Okay.
right?
Okay.
Because I think she'll know. But we got to make sure we have good line, or otherwise we want to leave it, right?
She is trying to come in here, get in front of the tee line. It would be great if she could come right in behind this one. But even if she came short, you'd leave Colleen the wide draw.
I think my weight
might be a
was
little
pretty
difficult.
good last time.
Ideally, she wants shot stone behind the guard in the 4-foot.
Okay, Cal.
Front of the tee line. Has to be in front of the tee.
Yes.
Colleen will have a shot, regardless of where Kelly puts this, though. So she's got to be focused.
She'll have an in-turn draw at worst.
At worst.
Lots of line. Close.
Yep.
Close.
Whoa, whoa.
Close.
We gotta go.
Yep, Dan.
Hard.
Hurry for the line.
Hard.
Second shot, but the 4-foot is there with the in-turn draw.
Colleen Jones has called a
I think
timeout.
this is all we have now.
Yeah, there's that one or this one. Either
Why is
one
she
of them.
playing that?
You've also got this, Colleen.
I do, but that's hard.
Or the draw.
Nice shot, Kelly. You did all you could. Great shot.
Sorry, just a little more, eh?
Yep.
You got the draw, Skipper. What?
Great
This
shot.
looks open here. The draw is open, I know. But on this side?
What would I be throwing? I think you throw 4-3. 4?
No, 4. Just 4, yeah.
4-4 to there. So 4 would have been good.
Yeah, and the frost will stop it.
But you pick your shot, because either one of these hit and rolls work, too.
Yeah, the hit and rolls work, too. Whatever you like.
This one's a little closer to the 4-foot, eh? Less of a roll.
True.
But this is your out turn, that's your in turn.
Yeah.
And actually, this one, if anything, could bounce on this one a little easier, right?
I think.
Okay.
Wouldn't the draw be the simplest shot?
I think I'd
You know what? I
think
like
so.
the hit and roll in the frost.
They've watched Julie
Yeah.
through a couple down there. They should have been getting good times on it. But again, Colleen's comfortable throwing hits,
Okay.
out turns in particular, and that's why she's chosen the shot. It's not for me,
looks like
but
a
I mean,
tricky old shot.
said no wrong call if you make it. But this is tough.
Colleen's playing
Kinda
her
like the
strength,
draw
as you
myself.
pointed out, though, Mike, and it all comes down to the person who's throwing the rock. Colleen's from the last rock. She knows that she's more comfortable with a hit. She knows that she makes this out turn. It's her favorite. So therefore, she's got to call the shot that she wants to make.
But out in the frost, doesn't this increase the difficulty of the shot, the degree of difficulty?
I think in her mind, she's thinking the draw through the frost is the same thing. So this is what she likes doing. Coming in off her own, hit this,
Can I
and
get the
roll
mitt
into
for
the
the-
4-foot for the Canadian Championship.
What are you doing? Getting the mitt. Is it here?
I think she's worried that the hack is very slippery.
That way, Marianne?
You're going to put the mitt in the hack so that you get more grip out of the hack. That happens also when it gets very frosty and very humid in the arena.
I can't believe she's doing this. That's unbelievable that she would do this on the last shot of the game.
I think she slipped the last time, and we've done that before too.
Well, no.
Will Kelly Law successfully defend, or will Colleen Jones win her third Canadian Championship?
No! Whoa! Curl! No! Curl! No!
There's the roll, but is it enough? Oh, it's going to be close. Is it enough?
It's awful close. We measure.
A measurement will determine the championship.
I hope it's not a tie.
I think it's us.
For the second time
Great
this
shot.
week.
I don't know if it's us, but great shot. We couldn't have had it any freaking grittier.
Wow, all they can do is wait for the official to come out and measure.
Julie, if it was ever a tie, you would agree that the yellow one would be out counting it. We took them away.
It was a great
but
throw
I mean,
regardless.
What? I think the consensus is that it's yellow.
We didn't leave you a very pretty 10th, 11th,
I
whatever it
thought
was.
the Jones rink felt theirs was shot.
Yes, I think they did a shot. Steady.
There's the
official.
dial.
Very steady.
Please, 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 please.
There's the
It didn't
movement.
look like she hit it hard enough.
That is just barely moving
Please push
the
that
needle.
in. Please, please, please.
Nova Scotia wants to see
I think
big
Nova Scotia's
movements.
got it. They have. Nova Scotia wins it. A measurement on an extra end to determine the championship. Colleen Jones has won her 3rd national title.
Good game. Couldn't have been any closer. Great game,
second Luke, this is for you. Hi, Jay.
Disappointment for Kelly Law. Jubilation and emotion for Colleen Jones.
God, it's not usually like this.
I think Colleen's going to hug everybody on the ice.
Oh my God.
Coming down to a measurement by the
Colleen, it doesn't
slimmest
get
of
any
margins.
closer than that. A measurement in the extra end to win the Scott. I mean, can you put your emotions into words right
I don't
now?
think I can. I mean, that was a great game. I don't even remember ever seeing a game like that. For Kelly to have made that shot in the 10th end to force the extra end, and then for me to be looking at a hit and roll to a piece of wherever and to be on a measurement, it's more than I can imagine in my wildest dreams. And also, at one point in this tournament, we were 3-4, and backs and guts ripped right out of us. And my son Zach said, watch the movie Gladiator, because, you know, he was a survivor and he never quit, and so I did. And that's what I feel like this team is. It's just remarkable.
Amazing. Really, a steal of 1 in the 10th against Manitoba, away from not even making the playoffs.
Right. Absolutely. I mean, but that's the thing about the week. I mean, it's a roller coaster ride, and you hang on for all you can. And, you know, that just came up. That was out, and just came up at the last second. And to do it on a measurement, I can't even describe it. That was a game. That was a game.
And we have 30 seconds, Colleen. You're now a 3-time champion. You joined the late Sandra Schmirler, Connie Laliberty, and Vera Pezzer. How do you feel about that?
Well, I've never considered myself in their league, ever. And they are great curlers. And we're fighters is what we are. And but I do have to say that certainly Sandra Schmirler's presence was felt here all week. It's been an incredible, incredible week. And when her husband Shannon was here for the opening ceremonies and said, keep it in perspective, we tried to do that all week.
Congratulations. What a tremendous win.
Thank you. I can't believe it. I cannot believe it. You've got to throw to commercial.
I sure do. Colleen Jones, a 7-6 win in extra end.
The Scott Tournament of Hearts on CBC. Brought to you by Scott Paper Limited, a Kruger company, proudly Canadian.
A dramatic finish. Colleen Jones of Nova Scotia with a gritty hit and roll with her last rock on frosty ice in an extra end. And it takes a measurement to decide the champion. It is Nova Scotia's Jones with a 7-6 victory over Kelly Law of Team Canada. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time to celebrate the 2001 Scott Tournament of Hearts champions from the Mayflower Curling Club in Halifax, the team from Nova Scotia. Skip, Colleen Jones. Third, Kim Kelly. Second, Marianne Way. Lead, Nancy Delahunt. And their coach, Ken Bagnall. Now to make the trophy presentation, please welcome Donald Coyote, Executive Vice President and Chief Operating Officer, Scott Paper Limited, and joining him, Zyvan Saper, President of the Canadian Curling Association.
On behalf of all the employees of Scott Paper and parent company Kruger Inc., congratulations on winning the 20th edition of the Scott Tournament of Heart. And best of luck at the World Championship in Switzerland. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Good luck.
Okay.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
I'm starting to like this.
Thank you very much.
Congrats.
For the third time, they're Scott champions. Don, what a thrilling finish.
A dramatic finish to this Scott Tournament of Hearts as Colleen Jones has her name engraved on that championship trophy for a third time. She joins Vera Pezer, Connie Laliberti, and Sandra Schmerler as three-time Canadian champions. Jones, however, in her two previous trips to the Worlds, has never won. This year, she gets an opportunity to avenge those two losses when she travels to Lausanne and the World Championships in April. A similar story to last year when Kelly Law got on a roll at the end of the tournament and won 6 in a row in Prince George to claim the Canadian title. This year, Colleen Jones and her Nova Scotia teammates on a roll, winning their final 6 games, twice defeating Kelly Law to claim the title. For Joan McCusker, Mike Harris, and Mark Lee, I'm Don Whitman. Goodbye from Sudbury.